I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Let's talk about open enrollment for health insurance.
It doesn't matter how you find your greatness or what you do to maintain it. What's mentally tougher or gives you peace of mind? It's your choice. Because greatness is realized when you're at your best. It's about whatever makes you say to yourself, I am great.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food.
Contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the Idaho High School Football Playoff. State playoff coverage on Idaho Sports is presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, Valleywide Cooperative, your local Toyota dealers, Dip Fusion, Helmet Reconditioning, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hi, everybody. We come to you live from Kamiah High School at the Bob Squires Sports Complex, where the Glens Ferry Pilots have made the trip up north to take on the home team, the Kamiah Cubs. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Kingsbury, alongside the Hayden Uhlencott, to bring you all the action here live and free on IdahoSports.com. Hayden, how you doing, man?
You know, I'm good. It's a nice day out today in Kamiah. I'm glad the rain kind of ceased.
Yes.
And I think the weather is a real big factor, and I think it's going to work out in our favor, hopefully, today.
It is. There's that fog across from us, so that's let's see, that's east, if I'm looking right.
I think your math's straight on.
Okay, there's this mountains in front of us. There's mountains, well, all the way around us, but there's this kind of like hazy fog moving across. It rained for most of the morning. It stopped. I think it's supposed to pick back up at some point. Hopefully it doesn't, but well, we're here under a canopy up in the stands at Kamiah High School. Todd Nygaard, the athletic director here, taking care of us. He and I put this up in the rain, and yeah, it's got a couple little pinholes in it, but we'll survive. We'll survive. It's going to be a great game today as the winner moves on into the playoffs, into the quarterfinals. The loser moves on to winter sports. And the Kamiah Cubs and the Glens Ferry Pilots, both 6-3 overall. Head coach Nels Clute for Kamiah and Eric Stewart for Glens Ferry. Last time Glens Ferry football team was in the playoffs, 2016. And coincides last time Leif Morrison was the head coach there, now the executive director of the Idaho Bowl. And both Rob Spriggs and Eric Stewart, who are on the sidelines now, Eric Stewart, the head coach, they were on his staff. So not saying Leif Morrison was, you know, the reason. I'm not saying he's not. And I'm not saying he's not listening right now from Holt Arena in Pocatello either.
Yeah, he very well might be. And, you know, Kamiah was in the playoffs last year and had a lot of success in the regular season. They had played Idaho City, got a good win, and then they played Grace, the team that we both got to see last night against Prairie, and we'll probably talk on that a little more later on. But they hosted Grace down here, and they ended up losing that ball game 20-0, kind of a tough one. This is their big opportunity to get revenge on last year and hopefully have a good end to this year's season.
Now, this is the opening round. After this round, they reseed into that quarterfinal round, but we do know that if Kamiah wins, they'll have Kendrick. If Glens Ferry wins, they'll have Logos. So congratulations, great win. Here's number 1 and 2 in the state.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better bid. I mean, geez, that's a tough way to go. But the lucky thing for both of these teams, if you do win this game, you get to go play in the Kibbe Dome. That's always an awesome experience. And I'm sure no matter what happens, they're looking forward to that opportunity.
It's warm, it's dry, it's turf. Can't ask for better.
Way better than what it is right now, that's for sure.
It's been raining a lot here, and so this field is it's a grass field, obviously, and it's soggy out there, and you can already tell just from the warm-ups that right in the middle of the field, it's a dark little skid mark out there with the mud. Taking a look, the captains are out center field right now. Take a look at our officials for today's game. Came up and talked to them again. Last night at Prairie, a bunch of guys that I've seen a lot, and this one as well. Referee Corky Fazio, the umpire Dan Davenport, head linesman Dennis Hastings, line judge, good friend of mine, Mike Tatko, side judge Scott McClure, field judge Brad Higgins, and the back judge, another good guy, Jamin Udy.
I tell you what, that's like an all-star unit for these guys. I mean,
I saw Udy and Tatko come up to give me this card, and I'm like, holy cow. Send the A-team out here.
That is a tough crew. I want to ask you a question, Paul. Is the first round of the playoffs, is that the host team? Do they get the same district officials? Or how is that? Because I was wondering that too last night.
Probably because this first round, they're not technically IHSAA games, so they're the school's games, so they get those local refs because that's why they're here. But it looks like we're going to have a 6-man crew at this 8-man game in the opening round of the playoffs. How cool is that?
That's really good for both teams. It allows you to see every angle of this field and hopefully limits, the complaining from the coaches. Right. They might be a little, frustrated because a ref can't see an angle, but there's no excuses today.
Well, I told Udy and Tatko, I said, listen, it's cold. It's going to be a little wet. Let's just keep this game going, guys. Come on, let's go. So here we go. Set to kick are the Pilots right to left. And there's the boot by David DeLeon, the sophomore. A kick lands at about the 20. Picked up by Kamiah. They're going left to right in their dark maroon uniforms. On the opposite side of the field, pushed out at about the 30-yard line. And that's where Kamiah will start their first offensive drive here at the start of this playoff game. I think there's 3 or 4 games today. We're at Aberdeen Priest River. We have a team there.
That'll definitely be a good game to see how, the North matches up against the South. That's a good tester. I'm sure Aberdeen probably is favored in that game, and Aberdeen's a really good team. But, first time we see David Clute out here tonight, the senior quarterback, 1,800 yards on the year. He's gonna sling the ball around the playground.
Both of these teams like to throw the ball a lot more than run it. And Clute, the big quarterback, throw over the top, threw over everybody. And right off the bat, they're wanting a call. Not going to get it. Well, it slant across the middle.
And he's kind of lucky there. Bryce Sterling, the senior linebacker, I mean, he was inches away from catching that with his one hand.
Yeah.
And he kind of threw a duck up there the first play, little jitters. Let's see if he settles in here.
Well, that it's not going to stay dry. I mean, they're going to dry it off after every play, but it touches the ground. And it's going to be a little bit slippery. But that is such a big quarterback. There's a handoff. Tries to go up the middle, and he's going to be stopped by Bryce Sterling and friends. Push forward, not quite a first down. Be a couple of yards short.
You definitely like the emphasis early on with Glens Ferry is it's a lot of gang tackling. It's not one man. Everybody's coming to that ball and making a play on it, and that's something you hope to see throughout this game if you're a Glens Ferry fan.
The size definitely favors, I think, the Cubs on this, so you're right. One guy's probably not going to get it done most of the time. We got receivers on each corner. Again, Kamiah moving left to right, 3rd and 2 from the, 20-yard line, 40-yard line. Run. quarterback keeper. He optioned it at the end on the far sideline, gets across midfield, inside the 40 to about the 38. Interesting play on that far sideline. He gave it back to his running back, who was only about, 2 feet behind him, and then turned into a blocker.
And in tight quarters, too. You have to have a really good connection with the quarterback and the running back to even, take the chance of throwing that. And to see him do that early on, it shows how good of a connection he has with his running backs.
And he was way outside the box. I mean, he had taken off on the keeper, turns around and basically lateraled it to his teammate back there. It worked. 1st and 10 for Kamiah in Glens Ferry territory. First pass of the game, complete. Jukes holds on to his jersey here on the near sideline. Tackle made.
Yeah, Schoening was trying to get out of that. And, that was one of the things that I mentioned earlier with the gang tackling. If he doesn't have somebody else coming in, I believe that was, let me get a number for you. That's Jackson Smith. You came in and made that last tackle. If he wouldn't have got there, I think Schoening would have got out of there and got more yards.
Yep, he breaks free. He's off to the races. So on the near hash, the 34-yard line, Kamiah with the football, 2nd and about 4. 10:02 on the clock, first quarter. In the shotgun is Clute, takes a snap, hands it off. Get a number on that. Was that Roberts?
Yep, Todd Roberts.
It was. Todd Roberts, the sophomore. Picked up about a yard, makes it 3rd and 2 at the 32-yard line.
They list him as a wide receiver, and it almost looks like all of these guys are almost interchangeable from receiver to running back.
Yeah, they just didn't have enough room on the position part to put every position they play. There's a pitch to the near side and gets pushed out of bounds. That's number 7, Everett Oatman. We're going to be calling his name a lot. If you look at the stat sheet, it is E. Oatman, E. Oatman, E. Oatman on everything, offense and defense.
Yeah, 600 yards rushing, 500 receiving. I talked to his dad actually earlier in the game, or earlier this week, Otis, and he mentioned to me that they're finally happy, that they're finally at full strength, and having Everett be able to have all these other good playmakers around him allows to not have him be, the main focal point, having Lawson Landmark back and a few others too.
It was first down, 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for Kamiah, moving left to right on the right hash. Takes a snap in the shotgun, throws. A little slant across the middle, catches it at the 17. They're not going to get him into the near side of the end zone. Score for Matthew Oatman, the senior, and the Cubs strike first.
Good touchdown there and a good throw from David Clute. Gets it right into the pocket as there's 2 defenders closing in, and Matthew Oatman is the recipient of it, and now Cubs lead at 6-0.
Lining up, 2-point conversion. They send Matthew Oatman out to the left side on the near side. Schoening in the shotgun, quarterback Clute. In motion comes Oatman to the near side, and it's going to be a keeper. He slips as soon as he starts running. Falls forward, and he'll be short on the 2-point conversion. You saw when he took that snap, it was design call. He was going to run that in, but that foot just slipped right out from underneath him, took away all the momentum.
Yeah, I like that play from Glens Ferry. Junior Sanchez was the recipient of it, and he brought down Clute. But I liked how they stacked the box because it doesn't give Clute a lot of options when he's the only one in the backfield. And they get the 2-point, and 2-point conversions are a big thing that not a lot of people talk about.
On the 8-man prep cast about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Coach Kirkland from Cary, he's one of the co-hosts on there. He did his Coach's Corner segment on 2-point conversions, how important they are, and how, talk to different coaches about how they practice for them, how they run them. So, go back to the 8-man prep cast, 3 or 4 weeks ago and check that out. It's pretty, he's got a lot of state titles under his belt there from Cary High School, so he knows what he's talking about. It's a pretty good segment.
Yeah, and state championships, Kirkland's probably one that knows very well, but you don't win them without converting on it. You see the teams that constantly convert, they're the ones that, at the end of the day, they squeak by, and they squeak by because they have those 2-point conversions.
Absolutely. I mean, you get, 2, 3 in a game, there's a touchdown, that's just handed to you. So you don't make those, it can come back and bite you in the end. So Kamiah set to kick off after scoring. 17-yard run by Oatman. Matthew variety. Set to kick is Everett Oatman. He has to be careful or he's going to slip. You can see it kind of gingerly. It's taken at the 26 and upended at the 31. Not much of a return. In fact, Everett Oatman's the one that came in and made the tackle.
Yeah, he almost suplexed the returner. I think it was Aaron DeLeon. DeLeon. And, I mean,
yeah,
that's a tough thing as a return team to not block the kicker. I think a lot of teams kind of forget about that, but that's not the guy you want to forget about.
No, he kicks and then just runs straight forward. So Glenn's Ferry on offense start things off with a quick pass to the 35, complete and down. They get about 6 yards out of that one. That was complete to number 6, Bryce Sterling from Landon Stewart, the quarterback.
Yeah, Landon Stewart, I mean, 1,100 yards on the year. He looks like your prototypical quarterback. He's got the flake jacket on him.
Yeah.
He looks like a dude that looks like he's ready to play at the next level.
6'1", 200. With that jacket, it makes him look like 225. Under center, takes the snap, hands it off. He gives it to Sterling again. Run up the middle to the 40. Going to be short, yeah, about a yard or two short of the first down. That brings up third and a very short one, about 1.5 feet.
And you always like to see the offensive line. They were the ones that pushed, Sterling almost to the end point of that run because they were there when he finished the run. Sometimes they run past, the running back gets past them, not this time.
Third and short, quarterback keeper, a little tush push from behind. They're going to get the first down. So they had the quarterback, Landon Stewart, with the keeper, and I'm trying to see the number, the player that was doing the tush push behind, I think that was Brody Merrill, 5'11", 165. So he's back there pushing with all his might, saying, let's go, Landon, let's move those feet.
Yeah, we might want to get a little bigger pusher back there. Maybe try Jackson Smith. 6'6", 215. Let's throw him back there, see what he can do.
That's funny. First down for the Pilots at their own 43-yard line. And as I pause for that, it's hard to see the numbers sometimes. So I want to get them right for you, so it might take a little bit. Takes the snap, rolls, throws across the middle. It's up, almost intercepted at the 40, diving for it. Was the backman number 28 for Kamiah, Dave Clute, the quarterback.
The thing I like about Kamiah, and they've done this ever since David got into high school, is they put him back there as the free safety. They let him just free roam, and it's opportunities like that Kamiah gets David in the right spot to make a play on the ball. This time didn't work out, but I wouldn't be shocked to see more of that later on.
Well, how often in this 8-man game do you see that 6'5" safety back there roaming around? Handoff. Coming to the left side, and another big tackle laid at the 45, number 4, the runner, Brody Merrill again.
Yeah, Todd Roberts, probably half of his size, was the one that got him low and put him down.
Kind of like the play before with Oatman. He grabbed him, turned, and dropped him. Wasn't really a tackle. It was more of a takedown. So 3rd and 8 for the Pilots at their own 45-yard line, going right to left. Left hash, 7:08 on the clock, first quarter. Stewart throws. It's complete to DeLeon. Aaron DeLeon still on his feet and finally brought down at around the 28-yard line. Nice catch and run by number 2, Aaron DeLeon.
Yeah, DeLeon, he got some separation and then just kind of got into clear space and made a good play. Got away from a few Kamiah defenders, and now they're pushing in on the red zone here.
So here we go in Kamiah territory. 2 receivers to the left, 2 on the right. Like last night, that only leaves 3 blockers. Got to be careful. Stewart takes it himself, comes to the near side, stays on his feet, and brought down by Oatman at around the 20-yard line. So close to a first down. Let's see if he got it. Might be about a yard short. So 2nd and 1 for Glenn's Ferry. Left hash, we're looking at 6:25 on the clock.
That good tackle there by Everett Oatman. I feel like we've called his name a handful already, and I don't think it's going to slow down at this pace.
Glenn's Ferry in their nice white uniforms, tops and bottoms. That's not going to, there's already and on the hard count, Stewart gets 2 or 3 Cubs to jump the line.
I'm a big fan of Landon Stewart right now. He's kind of a field general. He's really controlling the tempo of this game. We've seen Glenn's Ferry shoot a handful of different formations at Kamiah already, this time in I formation, and and really catching Kamiah off guard.
We hit the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Left hash is 1st and 10 from the 15. Stewart hands it off. Brought down, no gain. Actually, a loss of 1. Trying to see the number on that. That's going to be difficult to see in later on because they're already getting muddy. And it looks like that was De Leon again.
Yeah, Brody Merrill, he already has his jersey already halfway brown, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter, and it's getting a little dark on us already.
Yeah.
You know, Ryland Skinner was the one on the tackle for Kamiah.
And there's a pitch back to Sterling. He was around the right side. There's a flag down and brought out of bounds. I think he was taken out by Dave Clute. And there's been holding, I hear.
There definitely has. You know, Brody Merrill, he was the one. He's going to get the call there. He was the fullback coming around the right edge, and he had really good positioning at first. And just when the defender wanted to get to the edge, that's when he kind of pulled him in, and that's not going to get past this 6-man crew for District 2.
And I guess there's positives and negatives with having a 6-man crew and being able to see everything. You might get a little more, a few more flags out of it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of coaches tell me that there's a flag on every single play, and you don't want to have that happening. You don't want to call it and slow the game down. You definitely want to have the players play.
So 2nd and about 20 from the 22. Stewart over the top, throws, it's caught complete.
They say incomplete, or did they? Oh, they do say complete.
Yeah, to Aaron De Leon, a sliding catch right at the goal line. So 1st and goal from the 1.
Yeah, 1. I thought that was clearly in the end zone, but they're going to mark him. Yeah, it looks like the 1 or the 2.
Yeah, it looks like maybe 1.5 feet away from that goal line.
I don't know Glens Ferry's playbook strategy, but I'd run it with Mr. Stewart.
And that's exactly what they're doing. He's wrapped up from behind. Number 62, Chris George. 6'2", 225, grabs him and pulls him back.
But they give the touchdown.
So forward progress got him across the end zone. Touchdown. Glens Ferry, we're all tied up, 6 apiece.
That's a really good drive by Glens Ferry. They went all the way down the field, and that's a good thing to see if you're a fan because, you have that long, probably 6-7 hour bus drive, and to get off the bus and go right down the field and score just after you gave up one is a good thing to see early on from Glens Ferry.
I don't know if maybe they did. And a pass, back of the end zone. We'll see what happens here. And that one's good. Number 23 catches it in the end zone, Jackson Smith. And that was the 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
the down marker stayed there. And so I'm like, well, did they actually give it to him? Did they not? But they did. So 8-6, Glens Ferry. 4:46 left on the clock. Take a chance to thank some of our local sponsors here. The Itzy Yee Casino. Is that how you pronounce it?
Itzy Yaya.
Itzy Yaya. Thank you. Casino in Kamiah. Open to guests 18 years and older. Play all day. Take advantage of a delicious menu at Camus Cafe. Play all day at the Itzy Yaya Casino in Kamiah. Proud supporter of the Kamiah Cubs.
I've been there once. It's a nice place.
I was thinking about going after the game, going, hey. Oh, of course, just for the cafe.
Of course, you can't gamble here.
No. We always love staying at the Clearwater Resort and Casino up in Lewiston. The head coach for Lapway boys basketball, Eastman, is one of the head managers there.
Sure.
So I went and saw last winter. It was a KISS tribute band. $40. I was there anyway. It was worth the $40.
Yeah, Zachary Eastman could probably get you some pretty good seats there too.
Oh, it was open seating in one of the conference rooms. So there's the kick from Glens Ferry, taking at about the 25. Coming to the near side, that's Oatman. There's a flag coming in from the backfield. Still on his feet. Oatman finally brought down just across the 40. And Oatman, a little slow to get up. Then the official helps him up. See what the flag is. That came from way in the backfield.
Yeah, it looks like one of the returners were trying to get an edge up on one of the Glens Ferry pilots, and I guess it was one of those things where they thought they got too close or kind of pulled him in and gave Kamiah an advantage. So, good return ends up backing him up to the 20 now.
So 1st and 10 from their own 20, 4:35 to go first quarter. Kamiah moving left to right. Receivers on the corners, 2 men in the backfield with Clute. Oatman to his left, takes the snap. Ball's on the turf. He tried to pitch it out to Oatman. Fumble, and luckily for Kamiah, they recover Oatman right there on it. I thought Glens Ferry was going to get that one.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. Jackson Smith, the big 6'5" defensive lineman, was there. And when you're running triple option and you get a defensive end right in your face, it might just be smarter to drop down and give up on that play there.
So now we're looking about 2nd and 15 from the 15. Clute by himself in the shotgun, takes the snap, rolls to his left, kind of palms the football, runs it himself, right back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 3rd and 15. Nice job by that Pilot defense.
Yeah, I believe that was Oscar Duenas on the tackle, and that is a remarkable play by Glens Ferry because they're only rushing 2.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of teams bring 4, and it makes it really difficult for the quarterback, but instead they drop 6, send 2, and they still get pressure on Kamiah.
3:30 clock running here, first quarter. Middle of the field, 3rd and 15. Or not middle of the field, they're on the 15-yard line. You know what I meant.
I get what you mean.
Thank you.
In between the hash marks.
There you go. In the shotgun again, Clute. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. In motion goes Roberts, and they're going to flag that. There was some
timeout.
So they throw the flag for the timeout, or was there a flag? Interesting they'd throw a flag for that. Looks like it was just for the timeout, though.
That's a new one. I've never seen that.
Just to make sure somebody saw it. We're going to throw the flag. Well, we'll keep it right here, and we'll give a little bit of a shout-out to Farm Bureau Insurance in Glens Ferry. They're dedicated to protecting Glens Ferry families with a price you can afford with professional service. Visit their office at 94 North Oneida Street or call 366-7207 for risk-free insurance quotes. Serving Glens Ferry and the greater Elmore County area. Good luck, pilots, from Farm Bureau Insurance. And did you know the best hamburger in Idaho, Hayden, is located in Glens Ferry? That's right. Head on over to Hanson's Cafe today, maybe tomorrow, for the best burger you can find, all from fresh and locally sourced beef. Also serving breakfast and daily specials. Hanson's Cafe, ready to feed your family whenever hunger strikes. Go Pilots from Hanson's Cafe.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it down tonight, but tomorrow I might consider it. Go down to Hanson's.
If it's for the best burger in Idaho,
it's worth it then.
That's worth the trip. Kamiah with the football, 3rd and 15. They throw over the top, and it's caught. Open, middle of the field. Landmark, Lawson Landmark off to the races. From the 15 to the end zone, the Cubs score. Lawson Landmark, the sophomore.
Lawson Landmark is one of the best athletes in Kamiah's football program, and in basketball program, just about any program. Lawson Landmark is a heck of an athlete, and that play there was really difficult for Glens Ferry to cover because they had crossing routes, and they aren't just simple slants. It's like 15, 20-yard post routes, and they had Oatman going one direction, Landmark going the other, and Lawson was in single coverage and put a move on a defender, and, man, quick play, 3rd 15, and ends up in a touchdown.
And he caught that right about midfield. As soon as he came down, you saw he was very aware that the ground was slippery. He didn't just turn and run. He kind of gingerly pivoted and then took off. 2-point conversion, cross the middle, pass right over the head of Lawson Landmark. No good, so that's 2 missed. 2-point conversion as the score remains 12-8 Kamiah. After that, we're going to take a quick break as well. We'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
Dear Triathlon, let's take on iconic trails and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to the Bob Squire Sports Complex here in Kamiah, Idaho. Opening round of the 2A state football playoffs, the last game on the 2A bracket. Set to kick off Kamiah after that 85-yard touchdown reception by Landmark.
Yeah, keep an eye on Lawson. He's on the sideline right now. Looks a little gimpy. I don't know if his hamstring's bugging him, or we'll see if he comes back in. That's definitely a person you want to keep your eye on.
Big kick taken at the 15-yard line. Sterling up the middle. He breaks free. They're not going to catch. Well, there's one guy to beat. He's racing towards him. They're not. So an 85-yard touchdown reception is followed up by an 85-yard kickoff return. This one, Bryce Sterling, 2 minutes, 41 seconds. And Kamiah scored at 2 minutes, 53 seconds.
Yeah, both number 6s got a score in the last 10 seconds. And Bryce Sterling, I mean, he just found a good gap in that kickoff return. And the second he found it, there was no one that was cutting catch him there.
It looked like Rylan Skinner was trying, almost got there, just couldn't. Didn't have enough in the tank. 2-point conversion. Stewart finds his man at the goal line, and he just posted up at the goal line, the big guy.
Jackson Smith, that's what you got to do. He's 6'6". I mean, I've said it 3 times already. He's a safety blanket. You lob it up to him, and there's a really good chance. I think David Kluth's the only one that could be even in reach with him right now.
And really, they didn't have to throw it up to him.
Just threw it right at him, and he boxed him out.
He just stopped at the goal line, turned his back, really just like in the low post, blocked his guy out and said, here, throw it to me. That's all it took. So 16-12. Glens Ferry takes the lead back. Got a good one here at Kamiah High School. The rain stopped. Sun is trying to peek out. Not sure if it will or not. No wind, though.
No, it's really turning into a nice day for football. I think if you would have told me this 3 hours ago, Paul, there's no way I would have signed up to come down to Kamiah.
Yeah, me either. And I was here. I just said, screw this, I'm out of here. Now, we were setting up this canopy, Nygaard and I, and it was raining. I'm like, oh, boy, this is going to be a great day. That fog is rolling in pretty heavy, though.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one.
So kicking off right to left, Glens Ferry taken at the 20. Coming to the near side, that is Oatman. Oatman tripped up at the 29. So Oatman, not a good return, comes to the near side. And Kamiah will start at their own 20, looks like the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Henry Thomas there on the tackle, and so far, we saw this last night too, special teams.
Yeah.
Huge part of 8-man football, and so far, this teams down south have done a great job on that side of the football.
You know what we saw last night at Prairie on special teams? Turnovers. Not going to say who.
Oh, man, there's a lot.
That'd make Thanksgiving dinner awkward, but there was just a lot of turnovers last night that just killed them.
And that was definitely the turning point, and then, you know, you had Grace come down the field after Prairie just put a score up on him, and you had an offensive lineman take it in for a touchdown on a kickoff return.
Right, yeah. Handoff by Kamiah. Little stutter step move. Oatman up the sideline and then blasted out of bounds.
Yeah, for Everett Oatman to get anything out of that is quite impressive because he was basically on the ground, did a little bit of breakdancing to get back up. His hand was in the dirt and put another move on a guy and got 5 out of it where he really could have lost 2.
And Oscar Duenas right there, 6 foot, 255, the lineman. Just clobbered him out of bounds. So 2nd and 5 at their own 34.
Yeah, the two linemen for Glens Ferry that are, they're a little bit larger than the rest of the team, and they're actually really athletic.
They are.
They move well.
Then you've got Jackson Smith there that's like 8'3".
Just
huge.
about.
And that pass right in between the hands and out. Number 20, it's Matthew Oatman?
Yeah, that is Matthew Oatman, and David just sailed that one a little bit on him. And it's kind of tough when you're dropping back in the pocket and you're throwing off your back foot and you try to loft it over the defense, and sometimes a little hard to come down with, especially on one of those like middle screens they call it.
So Kamiah, 3rd and 5, they're going left to right at their own 34. 2 receivers on the near side. Clute in the shotgun, in motion. Going to the left and hand it off to Oatman. Oatman Tries to stay on his feet. He's dropped, and a flag is down.
Yeah, if you're Glens Ferry, you're going to really hope that's not on you because you just ended a great drive that Kamiah was starting to put together. And
a lot of times you see a face mask on that. Let's see what it is. And it is a face mask.
Oh,
on
the
Kamiah.
You don't see that often at all. And I don't know if that was on Everett when he was spinning around or where they decide to give that call out. Everett's a little shaken up right now here on the sideline. We'll see how.
Well, I didn't see the personal foul signal. So if it's just
only a 5-yarder,
the 5-yarder, that wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, you don't see the offense get that face mask very often.
No one can.
And they'll decline it.
And I don't know if I like that decision because it gives you a 4th and 5, and I get you're in plus territory, but it does look like Kamiah is going to punt it away. So maybe it does benefit Glens Ferry actually quite a bit here.
It worked out. So even that punt, and they don't have anybody.
Yeah, I don't. If I'm Glens Ferry, I don't trust this punt formation.
Well, the punter is usually Clute,
and it's Everett, so I wouldn't put any faith in that kick in that punt.
And they're not. The furthest man back is Sterling.
He's taking his sweet time here.
And he's going to run it. We've got the fake punt. Oatman coming up the sideline, tries to hurdle one guy, doesn't, but he gets.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be very close. I'm trying to line up. I think they got it.
Well, Glens Ferry does not agree with you there, Paul.
Well, nobody does because it's a turnover on downs. He was close.
Yeah, Jackson Smith was the one who made that play. He tracked Oatman down on this near side, and Everett was playing around with the idea of punting it away or running for it, and he finally decided to go, and Jackson kind of tracked him down.
How long do I pretend I'm going to punt it? How long?
You're right. There was never a thought in Everett's mind of keeping that thing and getting rid of it.
So, minute 11 left in this one. 16-12. Pilots on offense, going right to left. A pass, and his receiver looked like Brody Merrill was on the ground. In fact, I didn't even see him. All I saw was the Kamiah player on defense. I'm like, why is he throwing it to him? Had a chance for an interception, didn't get it.
Yeah, I think that was Matthew Oatman there on the tackle, or either Todd Roberts, one of the two of them. And if you would have seen that up from here and you didn't know the field conditions, you would have thought that they pushed him down, but he definitely slipped there on the tough conditions.
2nd and 10 for Glens Ferry. Another pass. Stays on his feet this time. Complete to Jackson Smith. He gets brought down, but gains a couple. That'll bring up 3rd and 8 for Glens Ferry.
Yeah, one thing you're seeing, we have 50 seconds left in the first quarter, is these players on both sides are they're very aware of the ground. They are very timid to make moves because they know they don't have the footing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, timid. As soon as they go to make that run, you can't plant. I mean, you have to start off slow and build up momentum.
And that's tough when you have a defense running at you full speed because they know you can't run.
Exactly. And we saw last night 2 passing teams that had to play more of a ground game. And we'll see how that plays out here if some of those passes keep getting overthrown, underthrown, or your receivers laying on his back.
A delay game call on Glens Ferry.
Yep, coming in from the backside. Clock stops at 17 seconds. And what was 3rd and 8 will now be 3rd and 13.
Yeah, they wasted. They wasted 40 seconds on that, and instead of a 3rd and manageable, you're now looking at 3rd and long, and they're hopping in an I-4.
Stewart, he's going to air it out over the top. Has a man downfield, overthrows him. That was Bryce Sterling. Staring up into the sky, just couldn't get underneath it.
Yeah, if David Clute wasn't there to defend him, Bryce Sterling would have had a real good opportunity to make a play on that ball and walk in for a touchdown, but nonetheless, you have a free safety over the top. He's going to be in a lot of good positions to make plays on the ball.
So Kamiah had a turnover on downs, and now it's 4th and 13 for Glens Ferry, basically within the same 15, 20 yards of each other. 2 receivers to the left. 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Direct snap to Sterling. And then they flick it back to Stewart. Open across the middle. First down as they throw it to Jackson Smith. Good play call. Direct snap to Sterling, pitches it to Stewart, and then coming across the middle, Jackson Smith gets the first down, 1st and 10 from the 20.
Yeah, trickery like that you don't see convert too often, and you also don't see it ran that well. You would have just thought that was a normal play in the ball game, but they ran that really well and avoid a 4th and 15 and turning it over on downs. They now have first down in the red zone.
That is the end of the first quarter. 1 down, 3 to go here in Kamiah. We'll take a quick break. Be back on IdahoSports.com.
Let's talk about open enrollment for health.
Welcome back to Kamiah. Paul Kingsbury, Hayden Uhlencott here, bringing the action to you. And the sun is peeking through. I can actually feel a little warmth on my hand, not a lot, but it's there. Down on the field, Clayton Bunt, action photographer extraordinaire here. He's actually a doctor in Orofino here on the sidelines, taking action photos. So there'll be a gallery up next couple of days. Skipped out at halftime at Prairie last night.
I don't blame him. It was cold.
So here we go. They flip the field, so the action's right in front of us as we are pretty much at the 30-yard line. And they are going. Nothing going there. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Chris George there on the tackle for Kamiah. I'm not sure how he still has a clean jersey, but he's made that play on Bryce Sterling, and yeah, that's a good first play on first down in the second quarter.
Glenn's Ferry, 2nd and 10 from the Kamiah 21-yard line. Stewart under center, turns. The blitz is on. He gets wrapped up and dropped for a loss. The big guy, 62, Oscar Duenas, comes through for the sack.
And, Everett Oatman was the reason that happened is because he sent the pressure. He went right at the center of Glenn's Ferry, and he definitely took the worst of it. He came off the ground a little bit later than everyone else, but that allowed Kamiah's defensive line to get an open hit on Stewart.
So 3rd and about 15 on the 26-yard line. Glenn's Ferry going left to right now. Takes a snap all alone. Has time, waiting for somebody. He tucks it, thinks about running, waits for a guy to get open, finally does. Hits him on the run. Sterling being wrapped up. They're going to call a penalty, but he gets across right at the near pylon. And I think the penalty was called just in case he didn't get across.
Yeah, there's a face mask, and it could go against Bryce Sterling. I don't think it will. There's going to be a discussion. But looking back on that play, Kamiah brought 2, and when you have a good quarterback like Landon Stewart,
yeah, you don't know if he's going to pass or run, so you can't. It's hard to commit.
No.
So it is a face mask on Kamiah.
And Everett Oatman's trying to make his case to Scott McClure there that he was the one that Sterling was the one that was actually getting the face mask,
right,
giving the face mask, and they don't agree with him. But there is still a discussion ongoing.
The officials are still talking about it. Let's see if they change their mind or touchdown. All right, that's all they were discussing is if it was a touchdown, and it is. So touchdown for Bryce Sterling.
Yeah, I look back on those 2-point conversions. If Kamiah would have got both of them, they'd only be down 1 score. Now they're down 10 with a chance to be down 12.
So Sterling had that 85-yard kickoff return. Now he's got a 26-yard touchdown reception. 2-point conversion, and Landon Stewart slips and pays the price as he gets dropped at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, both teams have ran that quarterback draw in the quad set where they split 2 receivers out and the quarterback's the only one there. And both times the defense has stood up and not allowed the quarterback to get into the end zone there.
So the lead is 10 for the Pilots in some sloppy conditions, but not as bad as it could be. But still a little bit muddy, a little bit slick. And Kamiah has to come up with something. 10 and a half left here in the first half.
Yeah, they've put together drives. They really have. The one thing that we could look back on in this football game, it's going to be that kickoff return. That's going to be the deciding factor.
It could be. You're absolutely right. Unless they come back and match it at some point, which could happen.
Yeah, with Everett Oatman, there's definitely something possible there. Now, the other thing I want to point out is I haven't seen Lawson Landmark enter the field of play yet. I don't know if he plays a whole lot of defense or maybe he's just getting a break. If he doesn't come out on this offensive possession, that's definitely going to be a question mark for Kamiah is what is the status of Lawson Landmark and if he's coming back. They force it on the kickoff.
Yeah, with the penalty, they kick in Kamiah territory. It's taken at the 5. Still on his feet. Tucks it. Oatman to the near side. Has some room. Gets by the defense. Gets across midfield. Racing up the sideline. Jukes one guy. Finally, leg tackled. Close to the 25-yard line, 30-yard line. And Hayden just pointed out the yellow hanky back at the opposite 30-yard line. So let's see what happens.
It does look like they're looking at a holding call on Kamiah. Oh. Wow. Huh.
And a hold on Glens Ferry.
How do you justify that one?
Well, if you're Glens Ferry, you don't. It's like, what are you doing?
I saw the Kamiah fans pointing it out, and I'm thinking, I don't know if that's the right flag you want to be pointing at, but, shoot. Yeah. That's going to give Kamiah excellent field position. This penalty is going to walk him into the red zone. And just like you were saying, they answer with the good special teams play, and now only have, 10 yards, 12 yards to put it in the end zone, maybe 15.
Yeah, so Oatman took that kickoff as it was kicked from what, the 45, somewhere in there.
Down at the 5-yard line,
so
he got it.
So he caught it at the 5, all the way up the sideline. Now, yeah, I think they're at the 10. First and 15-yard line, looks like. So a run picks up. Let's see where they end, about 7 yards. 2nd and 3. Now from about the 7-yard line. Actually, yeah, 2nd and 3 from the 8.
Good
look at the scoreboard for this one.
Yeah, Kamiah's scoreboard with the Bob Squires Sports Complex looks nice, helps us out.
Yeah, it does. The high snap, brought down, Clute, tackled. Coming through on the defense. There's number 23 again, Jackson Smith.
That's a really good play by Jackson Smith, and that's something that I'm sure the Glens Ferry staff scouted out before this game is the right guard there. He decided to go straight up to the linebacker, which is something you can do if you can outrun if your quarterback's faster than the defensive lineman. But Jackson Smith, he's so long that he tracked down David Clute no problem, and David was only able to get a gain of 2 out of it.
Well, 3rd and 1 from the 6. Clock running, 9:15. Clute throws. Man coming across the middle. Caught, complete, touchdown. Glens Ferry answers.
Kamiah answers.
Kamiah answers.
Gavin Schoening there.
David DeLeon, I think, caught that, number 11.
What are you doing, Paul? This is
Dang
Kamiah.
it. Yes.
Gavin Schoening there on the touchdown and came right across the middle.
I'll be in my truck if you need me. I remember my first time, which was today.
I don't think that could be the case. Make it a 4. Hey, they can make it a 2-point game here if they get the 2 point.
22-18. 2-point conversion underway. Clute throws. It's caught. 2-point conversion good. Matthew Oatman. He plays for Kamiah.
He sure does, and that's a nice play call. I really like that, allowing David to roll out and have those 2 receivers fade into the end zone. A lot more easy for Kamiah to get 2 points.
A lot more easy. I like that.
Hey, that's a good way to say it, too.
Here we go. 9:10 left first half. 2-point ball game.
Yeah, 1 for 3 now Kamiah is, but that's a big one to have. Let's see if they can get a stop on the defensive side of the ball. That's kind of where Landon Stewart's had his way at the quarterback spot, really running the show.
Well, Hanson's Cafe in Motel. They want to wish the Glens Ferry Pilots the best of luck in their state playoff run today. That's Hanson's Cafe and Motel there in Glens Ferry.
Best burgers in town. I think that's still where we need to be.
Yes. I could go for a burger. In fact, in 2 days, yesterday I left early, drove up here. I had a hamburger, so they gave me a hamburger from the press box last night. And then I had some Halloween candy when I got here.
You got a hamburger last night?
Well,
Why didn't I get one? That doesn't make sense.
There was a list of 40 and I was one of the 40, I guess.
I definitely was not on that list. I need a conversation there with Travis Mater.
It was good. It was so good.
The Burger Barn, they call it down in Cottonwood.
Awesome. See, I've had a burger in the last 2 days. It's been awesome.
If that's all you've ate, I mean, that's not too good.
Maybe that's why I can't figure out which team is which. We'll call it that. Blood sugar's low. I'm old. Combination. Here we go. Kamiah kicking off right to left from their 40. The big foot of Oatman. Toe kick. And that's going to be caught by Henry Thomas. Thomas brought down almost immediately at their own 27-yard line. And you see Henry Thomas get back up with his two hands in the air like he was being arrested. But something happened where it's like, hey, whoa, I didn't do anything. So I don't know what happened down there.
I'm not sure. Todd Roberts was there on the tackle as well as Gavin Schoening. And that was a good kick by Everett Oatman because there was a good chance that ball had some backspin on it.
Yeah.
And so if Thomas wouldn't have got it, I think Schoening would have.
Glenn's Ferry on offense. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. 27, they say officially. Quick pass to the left, to the far side, tackled immediately. Trying to get a number on that.
Looks like it was Sterling who caught it.
Sterling?
Or no, it was not Sterling. I take that back.
Was that Valencia?
It was.
Josiah Valencia. First time we've called his name today, the senior. Gets back, well, they're going to call it 2nd and 9, but it's 2nd and 9 and 2/3. Got about a foot away. In the backfield, in trouble, throws it at the end. So he took the snap, and Stewart looked up, and he had two Kamiah defenders rushing at him on the blitz. Had to just throw it away across the middle. That brings up 3rd and 9.
That's one of the first times we've seen Kamiah bring pressure. And when they did, they had a lot of success, made Stewart a little uncomfortable, not too confident on the ground, like the footing of it. And
well, it surprised him. You saw when he took that snap, he looked up, and there was a little bit of panic in his eyes. Takes a snap again, immediately rolls to the near side, throws back across his body. It's up and intercepted at the 35-yard line by Kamiah's number 28, the quarterback, helping his own cause, Clute. Boy, that ball gets tipped up by the receiver. It's anybody's football, and Clute right there to get back on the field on offense.
Yeah, midway through the first quarter, there was a play that was kind of similar. It was the ball that sailed instead of tipped, but David was right there and came in for the diving catch. This time ends up with it, and Kamiah at the 35-yard line has a real good chance to put another score and take the lead.
So Kamiah back on offense at the 35, takes a snap, handed off, and these feet just came out right from under him. That's Everett Oatman. Loss of 1. That'll bring 2nd and 11.
I like that call. I believe I like that call because it was a draw play, and I kind of was confused why David took the snap and Everett Oatman hadn't moved yet. And then he finally came, and too bad he lost his footing there.
Well, you want to call it a delay, but you're right. He just stood there and said, no, you're going to bring the ball to me. I'm not coming to you. So 2nd and 11, rolling, throwing, caught by number 7 Oatman, pushed out of bounds. Keeps the clock running. 7:45 left, second quarter. It's now 3rd and about 6 at the 29-yard line.
It does look like lost in landmarks on the field. He ran a corner out there on that last play, so he's still moving slow. I hope he's doing okay because he's not moving as quick as the other ones, but we'll see what happens here on 3rd and 5.
It's almost like a limp on that knee or hip. His uniform's still clean, so he's been out a while. Back to throw. Clute throws to the far side. It's up, and the defender on the play, Sterling, had no clue where the ball was. He's face guarding with his hands up in the air. It's hit him in the back of the helmet.
Typically, they call that a penalty. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're going to throw that flag, and Kamiah is going to have first down. Looked like Brad Higgins there. He didn't think that was justifiable, and now 4th down and 5, and Kamiah is at the 32. Kind of got a big decision here. I mean, I know they're going to go for it, but more so what's the play call?
Yeah, what's the play going to be? They're probably not going to fake punt again. I'm gonna call that right now.
I think you're spot on as Clute lines up behind the center.
And they send 3 receivers to their right. They're on the left hash. 4th and 6. Clute throws across the middle, has a guy, it's up, and they're going to flag that one. I think Glens Ferry decided to take the 15 yards over a touchdown.
Yeah, and you know, that's a good point there, because if you're in the NFL, that thing's on the 1-yard line.
Yep.
And
not in high school.
That it definitely benefits Glens Ferry in that sense, but also it shows that, you know, Nels Clute has his trust in his son, and then also Lawson just throwing up there and hope he gets something out of it, whether it's he comes down with it or he gets a flag.
So it is going to be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a first down. Free 15 yards. Kamiah will take that. 7:03 here in the second quarter. And the huddle was clear back at about the 40.
And it was only 5 of them. The offensive linemen didn't join.
They don't care.
They know what the play is. It's give the ball to David and let him do some magic.
On the left hash, going right to left. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. As we hit the 7-minute mark. Coming to the near side, pulled out of bounds by the jersey. Are they not going to flag that? They're not.
You definitely would have seen that one most days. As I guess they're going to say that he was in the motion of bringing him to the ground, and that's why they didn't call that.
So Todd Roberts with the football as he's going out of bounds. The Glens Ferry defenders grabbed the back of the jersey, spun him out of bounds. So 2nd and 8. Ball on the 16-yard line. 3 receivers to his right. Hard count. Gets him to move.
How often do you see that? I don't even think Dave. I mean, maybe he said something. We're a ways away, but he just lifted his knee.
Yeah.
And 3 defensive linemen came running right past.
I would bet he had to have said something, I guess. They all jumped at the same time.
Yeah, he made a couple signals at the line of scrimmage trying to, I don't know if he was trying to confuse Glens Ferry or if he was checking signals to a different play, but nonetheless now 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, a heck of a lot easier.
So here we go, 2nd and 3, ball on the 11. Clock running, 6:10. Open in the backfield with Clute. Clute scrambling, goes to his right, in trouble, gets wrapped up and dropped by 3 Glens Ferry players. I think in there was Jackson Smith to start. He just kind of waited for him to come to him. Kind of a broken play for Kamiah.
Yeah, he had I think it was Roberts there on the flat route. He maybe could have got to him early, but Glens Ferry hopped on that one right away and didn't leave David with a lot of options. And so now 3rd and 4, and you know we're midway through the second quarter. This is a big play for Kamiah. He got 2 plays to either get the first down or get one in the end zone.
3rd and 4, ball in the 12. Quick pass. It's caught. Here comes Roberts again. Roberts tackled from behind. Close to a first down. Looks like he's going to get it. It is a first down. It'll be 1st and goal for Kamiah. 5:20 left in the first half.
Yeah, very similar play. The same version of it, just instead of Roberts coming out of a play action, it was a jet sweep. And they get Roberts out into the open, and he catches it and makes a move. And now 1st and goal from the 4. Kamiah is in a real good spot to take the lead.
A quick pass. As soon as he took that snap, he went right into that throwing motion and got it to him. Threw a little bit low, but Roberts did a good job catching that. And now 1st and goal from the 4. Clock running, 4:50 on the clock. Left hash, 2 receivers to the right. Clute's just going to take it himself into the end zone. From 4 yards out, Clute puts another 6 on the board for Kamiah.
Pulled a little Houdini out of that one as he was looking like he was in some trouble, and he found a hole and got through it, and some cannons are going off here at the end zone club in Kamiah. And they got the 4-point lead, trying to make it 6, and it's a good response for them. You know, they were down 2 scores. They were down 22 to 12 at one point, and now they're on top.
So Oatman, Matthew Oatman scored, Landmark scored, and now Clute has scored.
I would think you're going to see another quick pass here from Kamiah. that's worked well for him in the red zone so far. We'll see if I'm truthful or not.
They haven't gotten a two-point conversion yet. Throwing. Caught right at the goal line, and they get this one.
Yeah, a little quick pass out to Gavin Schoening. Same thing, get him out in the open space and just set up right next to the end zone and right at the line of the end zone. And they get the 2-point. Now they're up 6. That's huge for Kamiah to start making up for them 2-point conversions that they missed early on.
Exactly. Well, CHS Primeland, a division of CHS Inc., is an ag retail and grain handling cooperative in Lewiston and the surrounding area. CHS Primeland would like to wish the Kamiah Cubs the best of luck in the state football playoffs. If you can feed it, farm it, fence it, fuel it, or fertilize it, you can find it at CHS Primeland. And IdahoRiverland.com, home of Idaho Country Properties and Kamiah Properties. They're a group of local realtors working for a local brokerage dedicated to supporting their local community. Make an appointment today to interview one of their knowledgeable agents to see how they can help you list and sell your property. Find them at IdahoRiverland.com and go Cubs.
I tell you what, some of the best riverfront property you can find is down here in Kamiah.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
beautiful.
trying to do any advertising and selling, but I tell you what, there's some nice places here. And it's a good place to live if you want to be down in the valley, down on the river.
Yeah, I was driving through the canyon to get here, and there's these homesteads that are in the canyon. They probably have sunlight for like an hour and a half a day. That's it, because the sun comes over this, the east peak, and then is right over that west peak pretty quickly. Here we go. Kamiah set to kick from their own 40, right to left. Kicking again is Everett Oatman, 4:44 left in the first half. Another short kick, taken at the 25 by Glenn's Ferry, breaks free and then dropped at the 34. A whole swarm of Cubs on the tackle.
Kamiah is a little lucky there. They almost got a face mask because it looked like Sterling kind of got pulled back. They must have said he just grazed the face mask of the helmet, and nonetheless, good field position for Glenn's Ferry starting out. You're only at the 34, but they've had a lot of success outside of that one interception.
In these kind of field positions, if you catch the ball and you don't turn it over, it's a win. It doesn't matter if you pick up 5 yards or 20 on that return. You get your offense back out on the field. Stewart kind of throws off his back foot. It's complete. I think that's to Aaron DeLeon. If I saw the number right, close to a first down. Verify the number when he gets up. That is number 2, Aaron DeLeon.
I really like the play calling from Glenn's Ferry, and Stewart and the offensive coordinator are definitely on the same page because everything they do is very fluid. There's no jankiness to it. It's coming together really nice for Glenn's Ferry, and I've been impressed so far, halfway through the second quarter.
2nd and 2, ball in the 42, going left to right. The handoff is fumbled. Looks to be recovered by Glenn's Ferry, though, right back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Bryce Sterling, he made the executive decision to just fall on it. He was debating about picking it up, and there's a lot of Cubs coming for him.
Whole pack?
It definitely was a swarming pack.
Swarming pack. So now 3rd and 3, ball on the 41-yard line. Pilots moving left to right. Ooh, some movement. They get back. Kamiah did. Takes the snap, hands it off, and the ball's loose again. And they're going to say he was down before he lost a football.
Wow, what a play there by Ryland Skinner.
So 4th and 5 now. Yeah, that was close.
That's exactly how you coach it, too. You get your hand in there and punch it out right when you're making the tackle. And for a sophomore defensive lineman to do that, Ryland Skinner, he could be a really good player for Kamiah in the next couple years.
Skinner, Idaho Sports and Ideal, the Idaho College Savings Program, we've been running this contest for the last few months with Idaho Sports and the 8-man Prepcast and Ryland Skinner. Hundreds of applicants. He won.
Really?
$529 into an Ideal college savings account. We're going to be interviewing him. I was going to do it before the game, but it was pouring rain.
We should see if we can get him out here at halftime. I'm sure Nels wouldn't have a problem with that.
Rolling. They're going to punt this one on 4th and 5. Everett did not touch it. He kind of faked the catch and picked up by De Leon.
I don't blame De Leon for taking that one and trying to run it in for a touchdown, because you could make an argument Everett was real close to touching that one.
Yep.
And a penalty flag.
Where is the flag? Was it clear in the back?
It was
about
way
midfield?
back here. It looks like it must have been on Glenn's Ferry. There's some cheering from Kamiah. I don't know if it was a holding call. It could have been since Stewart was rolling out. You see that sometimes, but
Rob Spriggs over there saying, what? Got the, the palms up. And then gives the wave of his hand saying, whatever.
And it looks like they're going to make him re-kick it. I didn't like where they started. I mean, you would have been pinned at the maybe 9-8 yard line.
Yeah.
And instead, you're going to punt it here and maybe get 10 more extra yards out of it. Hopefully you don't want to have anything bad happen if you're Kamiah, since you did have the ball last.
So the punt taken from about the 20, and it's caught at the 37. Everett, near side, no one's by him, gets across midfield, stops, tries to make that same kind of juke move he's used before. That one didn't work as Aaron De Leon comes in for the tackle on the near side. So 1st and 10 is what it will be for Kamiah in Glens Ferry territory, right around the 38-yard line.
You would have thought that penalty flag, that holding call on Glens Ferry, wouldn't have made a big difference. But instead of Kamiah having it at the 8, it's a 50-yard swing. They're at the 36 now of Glens Ferry.
With 2:06 left, lots of time for Kamiah.
Yeah, if you get 2 scores, and does Kamiah get the ball coming out, or does Glens Ferry? I think it's Kamiah does get the ball, so nevertheless, good opportunity to get up 2 scores here.
1st and 10 for the Cubs at the 36-yard line. Moving right to left, they're on the left hash. 2 receivers to the right, 2 on the left. Clute fakes the pass, scrambles to his right, throws it up. Incomplete at the 20, intended for loss and landmark. Nice effort for it, and he gets up, and that left hip, I think it's his left hip is hurting him.
It really does look like it. I think he's wanting to
kind of gave the signal.
Yeah, he kind of wants to get out of the game here real quick, and I don't blame him. It's cold, but you don't want to see him hurt. He missed a lot of this year with a shoulder injury, I believe it was, and so they get him out. I think they get Roberts in, and
not bad. Not a bad switch.
No, not a big fall off, really.
Clute takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws, complete. Close to a 1st down. Let's see if they give it to him. And they don't. It's going to be 3rd and very, very short.
Both these quarterbacks throw the ball really well on out route. That's a hard throw for a lot of quarterbacks, and it's not like it's an out route with a lot of space. It's a lot of out routes on the tight, like having to tightrope it on the sideline, and they've thrown the ball really well.
Trying to get just a push to get that 1st down. 3rd and short from the 27, and they get the 1st down. Interesting that they kind of did just to get that 1 yard, that little tush push instead of going for it.
Tush push-esque, and it was the same thing. Kamiah and Glens Ferry, they have these massive quarterbacks, and they have 150-pound, 125-pound running backs trying to push them forward.
Slipped down, and there's a pass complete to Matthew Oatman, stays on his feet. Inside the 15-yard line, maybe more. Let's see where they spot that. And a lot more. It's going to be, it's outside. No, it's going to be inside the 10. So 1st and goal from the 10, right at the 10.
He's a little shaken up. He's going to come out for a second. I think he's going to be all right, but his self-awareness to know where he's at on the side of the field, right next to the sideline, be able to make him move and even make that catch, gives Kamiah 10 yards from the end zone and a minute to score.
1st and goal from the 10. Left hash, going right to left. Minute 7 to go, 1st half. Clute hands it off to Oatman. Oatman comes to the near side. A defender holding on to that ankle, waiting for friends, and he gets suplexed over and down.
And the ball, I think, came out.
Number 55, Junior Sanchez with the tackle.
The ball came out late. It was close to the end zone. I don't know what the signal was. It looks like they did give a timeout. And if you're Matthew Oatman, you're hopping around there. They got your ankle tied up. You just need to get down because you got kids just being able to tee off on you.
Yep.
When you're that good of a player, you don't want to be in that situation.
No, if it's wrapped up and you know you're not going to get loose, there's a lot of bad things that can happen right there.
Yeah, you just need to concede, hit the dirt, live for another play. And it looks like he did, and I think he fumbled, and Kamiah must have recovered, but he actually gained a couple yards out of that.
So he's 2nd and goal from the 2 after the timeout.
Yeah, 50 seconds, a lot of time. I think they'll be able to score, but then it comes down to Glens Ferry. I think they have still a couple timeouts left. Do you want to try to score before the half ends, or are you going to try to stand tall, do what you can, see if you can hold Kamiah out? I'm sure that's the intention, but if you do let him score, is the decision to try to put one up on the board or go into half down 2 scores? I would imagine they're going to try to answer, but it could be tough with not a lot of time left potentially.
So on that left hash, 2 yards away from pay dirt, 51.5 seconds left, first half. Kamiah, Clute takes a snap, and they go to the right, wide open in the end zone. Nice play call. Gavin Schoening from 2 yards out gets the touchdown.
Yeah, they run that out route once again, and they're hard throws. They're long throws for only 2 yards of completion, but David has a really good feel right now in this ball game of throwing those flat routes to his receivers, and they're able to get separation. I think that's a huge adjustment that Glens Ferry needs to make is do not give up your outside. They're looking for the outside. They're trying to get outside of you. If you can work on that, that could be something that could help them, but right now down 12.
Going for the 2-point conversion, throws across the middle, complete. Again, wide open in the end zone, their 3rd 2-point conversion.
Yeah, 3 in a row, 3 straight touchdowns, 24 unanswered, and now lead by 14. This was a game where you thought, man, Glens Ferry could almost run away with it, or at least be in a really good position. And, man, halfway through the...
Well, it was 22-12 at one point, and now they've ran off 24 points.
Yeah, they have, and that's a good, if you're Kamiah, you finished 3rd, 4th in the White Pine lead, trying to compare yourself of where you fit in the whole state. We all know Kendrick and Logos are at the top, but
yeah,
to match up against a team from down south, it's nice to see Kamiah come out with that kind of intensity after being down 12 or 10.
And it's always nice to see, no matter north, south, east, west, Glens Ferry, it's been 8 years since they've been in the playoffs. I like to see those teams come back because Glens Ferry used to be a playoff team. They played 11-man, actually, for a while down there. And to see them having that success again, Kamiah, same thing. I remember they played 11-man back in the day.
Yeah, only maybe 10 years, 15 years ago. They won a state championship, actually, not too long ago. Well, maybe 10, 15 years ago.
I remember I came up here and I did, this was a long time ago, before you could have a hot spot on your phone. And I think maybe it was Bob Olive, can't remember who it was, but they lived back here. And we ran an Ethernet cord out of their house to a wireless router and did the football game that way. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Maybe 2008, 9. So Kamiah kicking off, little worm burner, picked up at the 40, and that's where he'll stop. And Oatman dove over number 21 for Glens Ferry, who had the football on his knees, Henry Thomas.
Yeah, Glens Ferry wanted a flag there. I don't blame him as Everett comes soaring in from above and just kind of clips.
Well, Everett's like, you know what? I'm running full speed. It's muddy. I either dive over him or I'm going to slide right into him. Take your pick.
I think he had the good decision there.
I think so, too.
So 40 seconds, and you're right just about midfield. Glens Ferry's definitely in a spot to score as they spread everything out.
No, 1st and 10 from the 41. Nearing the end of the first half. Glens Ferry would like to put some points on the board heading to halftime. Quarterback keeper, no one to throw to, so he decides to run it himself. Gets pushed out of bounds on the near side by David Clute. Picks up about 5 yards. It'll be, well, looks like 4 yards. 2nd and 6 now from the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Kamiah is kind of transitioning to a prevent zone defense, trying to not let anything get past them. That's definitely the way you want to play it. You don't want to play man. If you play man defense in this kind of weather, you're just looking to have a broken coverage.
Handoff given to Sterling. Sterling goes on the far side. Jumps up in the air to avoid a tackle, but sliding and taking his feet out from underneath him, number 84, 74?
I think it was 74 there, yep.
All right, 74 for Kamiah. That's Johnny Ross. 5'7", 201. And a timeout called with 28 seconds to go in the first half. Didn't see who called it, but it really doesn't matter.
Glens Ferry was the one that called that timeout. 3rd and 10, you're in a spot where, yeah, you have a couple plays. I think Glens Ferry still has 1 or 2 timeouts left. You got to try to get this first down here, and if you can't, don't turn it over. Don't know, make a bad play. Try to force something that's not there, because we've already seen David Clute and Everett Oatman are definitely capable of picking it off and taking it back. I actually haven't seen Everett pick it off yet, but I know he's quick enough to get into the end zone.
Yes, and it doesn't matter which Oatman you're talking about.
It's true, Matthew or Everett.
Yep. And Kendall down there going, hey, what about me? He's a nose guard, so he's not going to get a lot of attempts at the interception. But do you know, are they brothers, cousins?
I don't. I know Matthew and Everett, I believe, are. Oh man, I don't want to speak and say they're not.
All right.
I think they're cousins.
Airing it out. Glens Ferry downfield, and it's picked off if he brought it down. Number 18 picks it off. Todd Roberts back at the 25-yard line. Glens Ferry going big, and they pay for it on the interception.
This secondary's played really well today. Todd Roberts gets the pick in 19 seconds, enough time to get a score. You can throw some shot plays at Oatman and maybe landmark if he's in the ball game.
Do you, or do you just knee it down and go into the locker room?
It does look like they're going to knee it. I'm not against the call at all either.
Yeah, I mean, 19 seconds to go. You're up 36-22. They take the knee. They'll head in, get their orange slices and Capri Suns, and talk things over. So they're just, both teams leaving the field, 15 seconds left.
I think that's a good way to go about it. And what a second quarter for Kamiah.
Yeah.
Really 24-point swing, and in a really good spot coming out of halftime. I know they give the ball to Glens Ferry, but, this was a game where Kamiah could have been in some trouble if you would have thought midway through the first quarter. And that's not the case. Kamiah came to play in the second quarter, had some good adjustments, and
you rattle off 24 unanswered points, but they still only lead by 12, right? So Glens Ferry not out of it by any stretch, but the momentum is definitely on the side of Kamiah, especially after that interception, which in the scheme of things doesn't matter because it's a kickoff at halftime. But as far as momentum goes and morale goes, going into the locker room, getting a turnover like that, you see, we see Glens Ferry kind of going to the locker room. Heads hung down a little bit on a few of those players. They've, like I said, had some things to talk about. Some things didn't go their way. But that's what the second half is for.
Sure is, and I think Glens Ferry, like we talked about, there's a lot of adjustments they can make, but the thing where Kamiah's hurt him has been on the out routes and a few other things. But, I mean, overall, they've had a lot of success on offense if they haven't turned the ball over.
Well, it is halftime here at Kamiah. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Halftime show and more. You're listening to the 2024 2A state playoffs. Live and free on IdahoSports.com.
Dear road rivals, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Nissan and Ford charge extra for maintenance. At Toyota, we take care of our drivers. Join us. Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
Let's talk about open enrollment for health insurance. Your Health Idaho's got you covered with all you need to know. Open enrollment is the time of year where you can enroll in or change your health insurance coverage. And Your Health Idaho is the place to go for quality coverage at a lower cost. 25% of enrollees pay $25 or less. Make sure to enroll by December 16th to get covered and save money.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
Dear Freedom, here's to more miles driven, more dollars saved, and more electrified vehicles than any other brand. Yours, Toyota Hybrids. Toyota. Let's go places.
Let's talk about open enrollment for health insurance. Your Health Idaho's got you covered with all you need to know. Open enrollment is the time of year where you can enroll in or change your health insurance coverage. And Your Health Idaho is the place to go for quality coverage at a lower cost. 25% of enrollees pay $25 or less. Make sure to enroll by December 16th to get covered and save money.
We're Valleywide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Dear Triathlon, let's take on iconic trails and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Let's talk about open enrollment.
All right, welcome back. It's halftime, and the heavens opened, and rain is just pouring out of nowhere. Like it was fine, and then, yeah, everybody's getting drenched.
Yeah, what a rude awakening for all these players that come out, and it was nice when they left. They come back, it's a completely different world.
And I think it might be stopping. I think it was just kind of a quick flash through.
I tell you what, you get the weirdest things in Kamiah sometimes.
And we mean the weather.
We definitely mean the weather, and the weather is so weird around here. It's weird everywhere up here in central Idaho.
Yeah, it's kind of tapering off now, but we have a big canopy. It's Kamiah's, and it's huge. So yeah, there's lots of room under here for anybody that wants to come. Let's have a Idaho sports party here up in the stands. Well, it is halftime. Got about 3 minutes left. I don't think they're going to put another 3 on there. We'll see. Kind of go over the scoring a little bit. Sterling has 2 touchdowns, and I didn't write down the first touchdown for Glens Ferry. Do you remember that?
I think it was a catch from Bryce Sterling, I believe.
So Sterling's got 3 touchdowns?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay, he had an 85-yard kickoff return.
He does.
And then a 26-yard touchdown reception. And then, yeah, we'll give him another one. So 3 touchdowns for him. There's their 22 points. Now for Kamiah, starting things off was Oatman in the first quarter, 17-yard rushing touchdown. And then Landmark, that 85-yard touchdown reception. In fact, the kickoff return was followed up by that one-play Landmark touchdown reception. Clute had a 4-yard rushing touchdown, and Schoening had that 2-yard touchdown reception. It was 22-12 at one point. Kamiah rattled off 24 unanswered points to go into halftime up 36-22, sitting pretty here at the start of the second half. And by sitting pretty, they're absolutely covered in mud.
Yeah, absolutely. I would not want to be a mother right now for a Glens Ferry parent, for a Glens Ferry kid. I know countless times that people always wonder, why in the world do you guys have white uniforms?
Right. Well, it looks good in September.
It looks really good. It looked good about an hour and a half ago. It looked really nice.
Pretty crisp. Yeah, it looked great.
And now we see, like Brody Merrill. I don't even know if that is Brody Merrill, actually. It might not be.
I think the front of his jersey we can see, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's just yell his name, see if he turns around. But that's rough. That's rough. It is still sprinkling here. But, a chili cheese dog. It's like going to Shopko or going to Costco when you're hungry. Everything looks good.
That's true.
Where's the nearest Costco up here?
Lewiston. Or Clarkston, actually. So about an hour and a half from here.
Not bad.
It's not too bad. Yeah, I think, Glens Ferry had a really good start to this game.
Yes, they did.
And I'm very curious to see what halftime adjustments they make. If Kamiah continues to run the ball, I'd consider, or if they continue to pass the ball, I'd consider putting a lot of pressure on David, make him uncomfortable. And if they're running the ball, it's slippery out. You got to be a big emphasis of wrapping up and punching out the football because it's hard to hold on to it when it's slick out. And Glens Ferry is nowhere near out of this ball game. They get the ball here in a few seconds, and if they put up a score, Kamiah is going to have to continue to put the hammer down to try to escape this team that's, what are they, the 11 seed right now, technically in the bracket, the 11 seed?
Technically, but those really don't matter.
Technically, they're the 6th seed in the qualifier, you could call it.
Yeah.
And so there is definitely an advantage. You would say Kamiah would have been the favorite coming into this ball game, and so far they've showed that, but Glens Ferry can play with them.
Got a text from my son Will, who's doing the scoring at home, and I think he corrected me on a few things.
Well, that's good. We all need that in our life.
And I'm reading that. All right. So, Will, if you're still listening, was it Sterling that got the first touchdown? Help me out.
I think it was. But
he's saying Smith, but we'll see.
No, Jackson Smith. He's had a couple 2-point conversions.
And maybe that's what it is. Smith got the 2-point conversion.
He's massive. He just boxes out.
He boxed out at the goal line. That's right. So Kamiah set the kick to start the second half, going left to right. Glens Ferry set to receive. Man back, number 21, Henry Thomas. Camped at the 15-yard line, set the kick. Oatman. There's the kick. Taken at the 17. Kind of slips, gets his footing back. Thomas finally dropped at about the 38-yard line. Good return.
Yeah, you're not kidding when you said he finally found his footing, because at the 20-yard line we talked about earlier, he was a little timid, a little slow to get out, and he got to the 30 and he turned on the burners, and he got up to the 39, 38, and that's a good spot for Glens Ferry to come out.
Yep. So Glens Ferry starts things off 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line, going right to left. Stewart in the shotgun takes a snap, quick pass to the far side, gives it up to De Leon. De Leon tries to make a move, picks up about 5. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 from the 43-yard line.
It's a good call for a play caller there for Glens Ferry. You come out of the half, it's raining, it's cold. Landon Stewart hasn't thrown a ball in a few minutes. Get him a quick, easy one on the quick screen and gives you a good 2nd and 5.
Yeah, rain's not stopping. It's back. Back to pass. Stewart looks to throw, rolls to his right side, airs it out, incomplete, intended for Jackson Smith. Threw a little bit too hard, incomplete, brings up 3rd and 5 for the Pilots. 11-14. Just the start of the 3rd quarter. Thanks for joining us here on IdahoSports.com.
I like seeing David Kloop match up with Jackson Smith there.
Yeah.
It's a little easier of a side.
I'd like to see them match up in the basketball tournament.
That would be cool
fun
to see. Let's see if I commit David Kloop.
Go Yotes, back, rolling, in trouble, throws, And it's intercepted. He tried to throw it away, in trouble. And Landon Stewart throws another interception. 54 for Kamiah. That's
64.
64. A little bit muddy. Damian Ochoa.
That's a nice play by Ochoa. I mean, a defensive lineman to
he dove for it, right?
nose guard to get a pick. That's pretty cool to see a big
Right?
man interception.
Gotta love those hog mollies down there, doing the work. 11:05, that's where we're at here in the third, and Kamiah in pretty good position in Glenn's Ferry territory after the interception. And that's just unfortunate. You try and throw it away, and you throw it away.
Literally.
Yeah.
Now Kamiah's in a real good spot to score.
Lute rolls to the near side, has a man on the short side. It's caught, and he's dropped for a gain of about 3. That was to Gavin Schoening.
You're not kidding about dropped. Bryce Sterling there comes in real hot and delivers the bloom. And, I mean, Schoening's lucky he came down with it as hard as he was hit.
And confirms Sterling has all 3 touchdowns.
Glad to know we're on top of it here. We pay attention.
So 2nd and 7 from the 39. Clock running. Receivers to his left. He's moving left to right across the middle. Wide open. Oatman caught complete at the 27. They're not going to catch him in for the touchdown. From 39 yards out, Oatman with another touchdown.
It's a really good throw by David Clute. Had good protection in the pocket and just lofts it over the top of the defense. And, of course, when you have a kid like Everett Oatman, they're on the same page. Easy touchdown, and Kamiah now up 20, starting to maybe run away with it.
And we say that, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's why I said a maybe. You never know. I mean, last night we saw a 30-point turnaround by Prairie. And so Kamiah, 2-point conversions, we talk about them all the time. This is big to see how they, capitalize on it.
Two-point conversion, no good.
I don't know if I agree with that call there, Paul. Todd Roberts, I think it was, caught it and the ball went behind his back. I think he held on to it, and he kind of spun it around and held on to it with his back, really. And they're going to say incomplete. It was a really good catch there, though, by Todd Roberts.
Well, there's 12 sets of official eyes down there. 6 of them, 6 officials. So we'll go with them. And it's a good crew, right?
It's true. It's the best in District 2. There's no doubt. I mean, shoot, it might be all of District 2 here.
Oh, it is. You got Fazio, Davenport, Hastings, Tatco, McClure, Higgins, and Udi. And I think from what Brandon said, he was at Moscow last night. I think Higgins and Tatco were there as well. So with the official shortage, these guys are putting in the work.
Wow, that's serious commitment.
Yeah.
That's a lot of driving. I just came down from Prairie, so did you. That's a heck of a lot easier drive.
Oh, yeah. I'm heading back to Cuna after this, though. But I'm going to stop some.
You should travel down a little farther, go down to Hanson's and get a burger.
just skip Cuna.
Don't go home.
Pass Mountain Home, go to Glenn's Ferry. Say, hey, I'm here for a burger, please. So 42-22, 10-10 left in the third. Kamiah kicking off left to right from their own 40. Everett Oatman. That toe punch. Taking it to 27. Full head of steam running. Sterling on the far side. Gets pushed out of bounds at their own 49. I thought he got across midfield. We'll see what the spot is. One official said it's on one side of the field. The other said the other. Let's see who wins. Or if they're going to put it right at midfield.
Ooh, it looks a little bit on the short side of it.
Yeah, we're going to call it 1st and 10 from midfield. Fall on the 50.
Sterling with a good return. Gives Glenn's Ferry another opportunity. It's a really good field position.
Yep. Handoff to Merrill. Merrill picks up about 4 yards, brings up 2nd and 6.
Rylan Skinner there on the tackle. He's had a heck of a game as a sophomore. Stepping up big and making a good play.
Clock running. 9:38 now. Glens Ferry going right to left. Barely into Kamiah territory. Takes the snap, keeps it himself. Shoots the gap, gets brought down. Gain of about 3, maybe 2, depending on the spot. They're going to give him 3, so 3rd and 2.
That's what I like about big quarterbacks. They always have a tendency to fall forward, get you an extra yard. And when you're a defense and you're not near as big as the quarterback, it's kind of a problem.
Well, you're 6 feet tall. You fall forward, there's 2 yards, right? If you can extend. I get tackled, it's like half a yard.
It's true.
It's not that
Kamiah
bad.
stacking the box.
And I don't think they're going to get the first down. It was 3rd and 1 from the 41. And they picked up probably about half of what they needed, about 1.5 feet. And that was Brody Merrill.
Yeah, you could make an argument right now, Paul. This could be the biggest play of the game. If they don't get this, Kamiah's in a really good spot to put another score up and go up almost 30.
Yeah, and at that point, that hole's pretty deep.
They're in a hole right now, literally. And they just got bailed out of that hole.
They did. I mean, they had a foot to go. You would like to think they could have got that foot, but they're going to get a lot more now.
You know, if I'm Kamiah, I'm blaming that one on the mud, right in the middle of that hole, just sliding. Get the encroachment, the offsides, and Glens Ferry bailed out of it, 1st down and 10.
Rolling to his right, Stewart throws. Incomplete, just outside the hands, and there's a flag down. I'm trying to see, was that, I think the intended receiver was Sterling. And they waved the flag off. He just jumped right out of his pocket.
You know, if I'm the offensive coordinator, Glens Ferry, I'm going to do about anything I can this next play to either get the ball to the left side of the field or the right side of the field, anything but the middle. Because this is a mud pit right now, and everybody is really struggling with their footing.
So Glens Ferry, 1st and 10 on the Kamiah 35, going right to left. There's a handoff and met immediately. Sterling loses about a yard right in the middle of the field, and that had to hurt.
Yeah, they run a trap play, and typically it looked like it was going to open up, and Rylan Skinner met the trapper right there, and it allowed Everett Oatman to come in and fill the tackle. Called his name out a couple times, but Skinner playing a heck of a ball game right now at the defensive line spot.
Get the play in. Stewart goes over and whispers some things to Sterling. Comes back in the shotgun. Looks to his left. Throws. Complete. Gives it to DeLeon. DeLeon near a 1st down. Let's see if he got it. And that's going to bring up 4th down, they say. 4th and about a yard. 2 yards, it looks. Well, now they move it. About a yard. Nope, they keep it at 2 yards. 4th and 2. Clock running. 7:08.
We'll see if Glens Ferry chains it up. They ran I formation the first couple plays in this drive. Couldn't get anywhere. They went out to a quad set. Now they're coming out in quads once again. 4th and 2, though.
Stewart alone in the backfield. Throws to his left again. Caught again by DeLeon. And they get the 1st down.
Yeah, they're just running hitches. It's almost 4 hitches on each side. They've ran that the last 2 plays. And Kamiah's giving them cushion, allowing them to catch the ball. They're just not letting them get past.
And we saw in the first half, Glens Ferry was giving Kamiah that, but in a lot more longer chunks of yards.
Got to tighten up the screws, though. You're at the 23-yard line. Kamiah needs to dial in the defense, not give anything up over the top.
1st and 10 from the 23. Glens Ferry. Stewart rolls. He's going to tuck and run. There's a flag comes in from the side judge. And Stewart tackled on the runway for the long jump.
Yeah, he went a ways out. And it's going to be a holding call on Glens Ferry. It's going to back him up. They're trying to hold off Rylan Skinner, and they pulled him in and going to back him up.
And a hold on Glens Ferry. And I think Stewart left a little bit of skin back there on the asphalt. But the hold's going to push him back. So it should be 1st and 15. Nope, they're going to say he got pushed out. So, 20, 21. Let's see what the scoreboard says. My math could be off. 6:25. First down for the Pilots. Here comes Bryce Sterling around the edge. Gets knocked out of the 22 on the far side of the field.
Good lead blocking there for one of the fullbacks of Glenn's Ferry. He only got, looks like almost 11 out of it, but that was a good way to get your yards back. You know, you get pinned back to first and double sticks, and to make up for it, that's a good start to a drive.
Second down and 9. Ball in the 22. Clock running, 5:43. Pilots take the snap. Stewart rolls, plants, throws downfield, and another interception for Kamiah. That one. Let me get the number as he comes by. Was that 54 again?
No, it was Matthew Oatman there.
Oh, Matthew Oatman, number 20.
And I think he might already have one too. But geez, Matthew Oatman stood right in front of Jackson Smith there, and they threw it right to him. And Kamiah avoids Glenn's Ferry getting into the end zone and the red zone, and they're in a really good spot to just run this clock and burn some time off, get another score, and get ready for Kendrick.
So Kamiah at their own 7, but in a pretty good position, up 20 points. Takes the snap. Clute keeps it himself. No gain, not much of a gain. That'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it's a conservative play call, but I think it's the right play call. You don't want to be running around there in the backfield to get a safety. You need to just kind of move forward. If you end up punting this drive away and getting them back into their own field, on their own territory, that's not the worst thing in the world. You don't want a high snap or a slip in the back of the end zone.
It's a dangerous spot to be. Anytime you're inside the 10 of your own end zone. Quick screen, and he goes nowhere. Loss of yards on that one.
And he looks like, I mean, you might lose yards. Yeah, you're right now at the 2-yard line. And they're going backwards now. And
yeah, 3rd and 14 from the 3. Clock continues to run. Tell you what, Glenn's Ferry defense comes out.
Yeah, you get a safety. It's a change of momentum. And if you're Kamiah, I don't know. I might be at the point where I might just run it, but they're spreading everyone out.
On the near side of the field, a lot of room on that left side for Clute. They're going left to right in his own end zone. He passes, throws it deep to Oatman. Incomplete at the 40. And Oatman slow to get up. He does get up. Laid out for that one.
Looks like Smith down there on the far end zone's a little slow getting up, having a discussion with one of the officials.
It's funny, you can tell who the new guy in the game is. Peyton Reynolds comes in, number 5 for Glenn's Ferry, in that sparkling white uniform.
If you're a mom, you're like, dang it, you're in the game, but man, now I got to wash this thing.
And you got to hand scrub that.
Looks like Smith's all right, coming off the field a little slow. Gets his helmet off, gets a nice pat on the back from David Clute.
4:08 on the clock. 4th down. 4th and 14. Ball on the 3. Not a lot of room to punt either. I mean, this is in everybody's head right now. You know, the center at the snaps is what I can't have a bad snap. Quarterback saying, hope it doesn't go over my head.
And if I'm Glenn's Ferry, I bring the house here.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see if I can get a block. I mean,
back to receive is Bryce Sterling standing at the 40.
Yeah, you know, Everett Oatman, his back feet, the back of his cleats lined up right with the white on the back marker, and
he's not going to have a lot of time to get that off.
And even if you don't block it, you know, Sterling in a good spot to get it in good position.
High snap, brings it down, gets it away. Good punt, and it is taken at the 39. Still on his feet, Sterling goes to the far side. Inside the 25 at about the 27, where he's tackled out of bounds. But Glens Ferry gets the ball back in pretty good field position.
Yeah, that is the best thing that could happen to Glens Ferry there. You throw a pick in the red zone, and your defense steps up, gets 3 straight stops on Kamiah, and you get it back just about maybe even better field position where you had it.
Yeah.
And you threw the pick.
So 3:56 to go. Glens Ferry looking to cut into this lead. Tough, but not impossible for Glens Ferry. Direct snap to Sterling. Sterling goes around the right side. The first down marker, he just gave up his position, that guy. You got to stand your ground down there. He just dropped the stick and ran.
I don't blame him. I would not. I would not want to be on the receiving end of getting hit by Bryce Sterling.
No. Looks to be 2nd and 5 from the 19-yard line. Glens Ferry going right to left. 2 receivers on each side. Stewart looks to pass. A little short one. Makes a stutter step. Gets away from the first, but not the second. Down at the about the 11-yard line. Gets the first down.
Yeah, Kamiah brings pressure there, kind of burns them. They're lucky Sterling couldn't break more tackles. Kamiah probably sent 4 or 5 there and made Stewart a little uncomfortable. Nonetheless, gets a good pass out to Bryce Sterling and moves the chains.
So 1st and 10. Stay officially from the 12. Again, 2 on each side. A little bit of movement, didn't call. Throws. Ball's up, incomplete. Intended for Aaron DeLeon. Couldn't get it to him. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, Todd Roberts definitely a height disadvantage there for him on DeLeon, but stands tall. Pass goes a little outside of DeLeon's stretched out arms, and still got 3 more cracks at it if you're Glens Ferry.
Roberts 5'7". DeLeon about 6 foot. It's good enough.
I would imagine Bryce Sterling, he's going to probably see the rock here.
Kind of the same set. In motion, low snap. Stewart is going to run it himself. Picks up about 3-4 yards. He went to the stacked side. Whole lot of room on that left side.
Yeah, the low snap almost benefited him.
Yeah, right.
Kind of froze the defense for a second, and Stewart, no question, he had it and got to that far side and picked up 3 or 4.
3rd and 6 for Glens Ferry. Ball in the 8, going right to left. They're on the Kamiah 8-yard line. 2:18 clock running. There's the snap. Rolls. A little sidearm pass. Given up to Sterling. Sterling picks up about 3 on the far sideline. Oh, 4th and a couple now as we hit the 2-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Big play, and when we've seen this tight down in distance, we've seen Glens Ferry typically, pack it inside, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here as they spread everyone out.
4th and 3. Minute 42 to go, clock running. Ball's tipped on the pass, so there's a flag down in the end zone.
And that's going to be on Kamiah. He kind of pulls the receiver back, and
they call that on Schoening back there?
I think it is, and he's going to get a first down, 1st and goal now from probably the 1-2.
So that pass tipped, but the flag comes in from the back.
Definitely a tough break for Schoening there. I think the deflection of the ball kind of throws him off. He was expecting it to be on target, and he pulls back on the receiver to retract and try to find the ball, and they don't give him a first.
No, it's 4th and about 6 inches.
I don't know how that doesn't result in a first down, but they have, it's kind of an eagle formation, I used to like to call it.
The ball's way over on the right. They've got 4 offensive players clear to the left, and they still didn't get it in. That's some good defense by Kamiah. Now explain that Eagle offense to the folks at home.
I will, yeah. They have 3-4 players on the left side completely away from the ball, and they have 2 linemen. Well, in this scenario, it was 1 lineman and then a tight end, and then 2 people in the backfield. So it's a 4-on-4, but you have your bigger dudes away from the ball, and they try to catch Kamiah off guard, and Kamiah matched him. And it looks like it's going to go first and goal for Glens Ferry. They're going to get the chains moved. They do continue to give it to him, so get 4 more cracks at it, put a score up. Only down 20. No, has anyone scored in this quarter? Or one?
Nope.
We've got 1 score maybe, but.
Well, on the sideline, just as a heads up, Landon Stewart. It's a timeout on the field. Landon Stewart, that left knee, he came off limping, and now he's hopping and being helped. He's out of bounds on the sideline. They're helping him kind of get back to the bench. So Landon Stewart out of the game. They'll be looking at him.
Well, Carson Trout, I think, is the backup, I believe. Well, I don't know if he's the backup. He's the only one that says quarterback there.
I don't think that matters.
And he's a freshman. Yep, that's what I thought. It's going to be Sterling taking the snap. I think that's a good call.
So he's the quarterback, but we can pretty much call it a wildcat. And he is going to run it in for the touchdown from 2 yards out. Sterling with his 3rd touchdown.
I thought it was his 4th.
Stewart got the 1 yard after a long pass by De Leon.
You're right.
Well, I wasn't right. It was Will Henneke and Will Kingsbury that sent that in. $1:29 left, 3rd quarter. 2-yard, I guess, quarterback keeper from Sterling.
Yeah, and Bryce Sterling with a nice run. You know, they list him at 150. I think you could make a real good argument. He's probably closer to 175. He's a little bigger than people think. And he's hard to bring down. Kamiah has kind of struggled with it, and it's a 14-point ball game. Need the 2 points.
Going to 2-point conversion. Sterling again. And as he's being tackled, kind of a 2-handed chest pass, trying to get it to Valencia, but no good. And I've seen this so many times where a quarterback will go down. It's a 2-point conversion. You can throw an interception. You can do whatever. They can't run it back. You can be very, very adventurous with that. You can just toss it up over your head and hope your guy catches it. But so many times a quarterback gets into quarterback mode and doesn't want to turn it over, doesn't want to do this. It's a 2-point conversion. Throw it up, see what your guy can do.
You get a running back in there, he's gonna do whatever it takes to get the ball, and he's not worried about the stats. If I throw a pick, who cares?
No, why go down with the football when you can just throw it up in the air and see what happens?
There's one thing to note here. Bryce Sterling, actually, he's 2 for 2 on the year. He has 41 yards and a touchdown. Has a QBR of 177.1. So maybe we're underestimating Mr. Sterling here. He only has 2 passes, but
I'm going to guess he likes to run a little bit more. Well, don't forget about Hanson's Cafe and Motel. They want to wish the Glens Ferry Pilots the best of luck in their playoff run. And you can get the best hamburger in Idaho. And it's located right there in Glens Ferry at Hanson's Cafe. Locally sourced beef. They also serve breakfast, daily specials. Hanson's Cafe, ready to feed your family whenever hunger strikes. Go Pilots from Hanson's Cafe there in Glens Ferry. Glens Ferry kicking, kind of a little squib kick down the middle. Picked up at the 30, stays on his feet, and finally tackled at the 43-yard line. Let's see who had that.
Looks like Oatman.
Oatman, okay.
I mean, big surprise, really.
Just say Oatman, and you're probably going to be right.
You know, you got a 50-50 chance, maybe even maybe even more than that. Is Everett, I don't know if Everett plays baseball. I kind of doubt it. I think he's more of a track guy. But he did a really good job fielding that ball that was rolling towards him. You see that sometimes where the returner has a hard time handling that ball that's getting kicked off to him. Not this time. And starts him out at the 43.
1st and 10, throws, complete, and dropped hard. Tackle made by Aaron De Leon.
A landmark there on the tackle.
And he's hurt. Looks like his knee.
It does look like one of his teammates is helping him out with I would think a cramp.
Oh, does that look like a cramp? A cramp in November.
You don't see that. The only way you see a cramp in November is when you're in the Kibbe Dome or Holt Arena.
Yeah.
You see those a lot. Not sure if that's what it is. And speaking of Holt Arena, Kendrick's out here probably watching. I wouldn't be shocked if Logos is either.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw, I think it's Nick Holloway. We saw him last night at the Pirate game.
Yep.
And I'm sure Zane's here somewhere scouting and getting ready for their game against Kamiah if Kamiah does advance.
Well, if Zane's here and didn't come up and say hi, I'm going to be offended.
I saw one Kendrick player walking around in a sweatshirt, so.
Oh, wow. Bold.
I know, right?
Well, we're going to thank some more of our local sponsors. Give us a chance. Farm Bureau Insurance, dedicated to protecting Glenn's Ferry families with a price you can afford with professional services. Visit their office at 94 North Oneida Street or give them a call, 366-7207 for risk-free insurance quotes. Serving Glenn's Ferry in the greater Elmore County area. Good luck, Pirates, from Farm Bureau Insurance. And that was number 6 for Kamiah, Lawson Landmark.
And he's the player we talked about earlier in this game where we thought maybe he had a hip injury or something.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a whole lot of him. When he's been in the game, he's made impact plays. I mean, he has an 80-yard touchdown. They take him out for this play.
Clock running under a minute, 55 seconds. It is 2nd and 5 from the 48. Kamiah moving left to right on their side of the No, I swear. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, comes to the near side. Clute gets across midfield, pushed out of bounds. So going to be short of the first down, but it'll bring up a very manageable 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, Everett open delivers a huge block on Jackson Smith there, and there's a huge height advantage there, disadvantage, and Everett
depends on who you're rooting for. It's disadvantage.
That's true. Everett delivered a blow there.
So 31 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Clock is stopped. 3rd and 3. Ball sitting right at midfield. Kamiah moving left to right. Under center's Clute. Oatman in the backfield. Try a hard count, didn't get it. They're going to go with option 2. Takes a snap. Cross the middle, open, complete to Schoening, and he gets the first down. Catches and dropped at the 44-yard line.
I think that option 2 is the right call. He checks the slants. They were in an open eye formation. There's only 3 down linemen. They split 2 receivers out. And it looked like at first maybe they were thinking they were going to run it with Everett. Oh, then they kind of stacked the box. Glenn's Ferries did. Put the 2 cornerbacks in a one-on-one scenario and allow Schoening to come down with it.
Oh, Schoening not the typically sized tight end, 5'10", 140. But he gets the job done. So the end of 3 down, 1 to go here in Kamiah, where the Cubs lead 42-28. We head into the 4th quarter. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back. Start of the 4th quarter. The officials love it when the ball's in midfield. They hate it when it's like at the 5-yard line. They have to walk all the way to the other end.
They got to get their exercise in, burn some calories.
There's a handoff and dragged down from behind. Todd Roberts, the ball carrier, in for the tackle. Got a lot of mud on the back of his jersey, and now they're taking mud out of his face mask. The teammate is just, well, he must be absolutely packed. He couldn't even see.
Yeah, Brody Merrill there. You can hardly even see his number. Or was that? That wasn't.
Yeah,
Brody
I'm trying
Merrill.
to see.
Well, Brody Merrill's one of them. I don't think he was the one that actually was the one covered in mud.
number 7. Josiah Valencia is who that was. Faked the handoff, kept it himself, and Clute dropped for a loss.
Junior Sanchez, he's had a couple of those big plays where he's gotten to David Clute and wrapped him up, and that's a tough thing to do, is wrap up a player like David Clute.
Yeah.
He's strong. He's a lot bigger than a lot of the typical quarterbacks you see. For Junior to be able to do that, it gives Glenn Ferry a puncher's chance here with a 3rd and long and maybe have a chance to get the ball back.
Clock running, 10:48. That's all we've got left in this one. Again, if Kamiah wins, they've got Kendrick. Glens Ferry wins, they've got Logos. So consolation prizes. Rough. Clute back to pass. Throws it over the top, has a man up and caught. What a catch by Everett Oatman down at about the 20-yard line. And Oatman jawing at the defender a little bit. Referee steps in the middle. Aaron DeLeon on defense.
Yeah, what a catch by Everett Oatman, and a good throw by Clute as well. And he just goes over the top of DeLeon, high points it, comes down with it, looks at him, pats his head saying that he got over it. Yeah.
Says, how you like them apples? I'm sure that's all he said.
I don't
Something
disagree
like
with you at all.
Something like that. So bring the play in from the sideline. Clute, it's a quick huddle. And again, those 3 linemen are just waiting.
They know it's a pass. They know that David's got him. They're not nervous about it. They know they got to block 3 dudes in front of them.
1st and 10 from the 20. 9:50 to go in the 4th. Handoff. Goes a couple of yards, not much.
You know, and I was wrong there. I'm thinking David's going to pass the
I was
ball.
with you, yeah.
If you're an offensive lineman, how do you know when they're running the ball or passing it, or do you just say,
Just
I got
block.
this guy, I don't know where I'm going with him?
Just block. It's not like there's a block left, block right. There's just the 3 guys up front.
And they've done a really good job tonight. David hasn't had a ton of pressure. Sanchez has got him a couple times, but really both teams have done a really good job keeping their quarterback upright.
2nd and 8 from the 18. 2 receivers on each side. Clute letting the play clock wind down. Got to about 4, takes a snap, keeps it himself, takes the left gap, and brought down, gain of another couple of yards. That'll bring up 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, it brings me back to a play that happened earlier in the first half. They ran that same play. They left Jackson Smith unblocked, and they did the same thing this time. And David was able to get past Smith and get more positive yards than the first time around.
3rd and 5 from the 15. I'm going to say 3rd and 4 still. I don't believe the scoreboard. Letting that clock tick down. Official raises his hand. They've only got a couple of seconds. Then they barely get it off. Quick, short pass given to Landmark. Landmark tries to make a move, but tackled by Brody Merrill.
Yeah, Kamiah runs that tunnel screen, and it allows the blockers to get out in front of them, try to open stuff up for Landmark. And good coverage there by DeLeon to not let Landmark squeak past him.
So 4th and a long 1 from the 11. So we hit the 8-minute mark. Left hash, Kamiah going right to left, right in scoring position. They score another one, even though it's 42-28, I think that's definitely a nail. Pushing forward, staying on his feet, and goes 11 yards into the end zone in a scrum. And you actually saw Everett Oatman. He didn't even move. They snapped the football. He's in the backfield. He just stood there and watched the whole thing.
What a push from that offensive line. You can't understate how good of a job they've played today. And maybe I've spoke too soon.
The officials, 3 of the officials, are talking things over. The white hat +2, and they're going to wave the flag off. And that makes Kamiah happy.
It sure does, and you can't understate how good these linemen have done. 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and they shoved David a good solid 7 yards into the end zone. Put a statement on this ball game up 20.
So Clute with the 11-yard, well, it's a rushing touchdown. Not a lot of rushing to it. That 11 yards took about 20 seconds to get to, with 7:41 left in the game. Two-point conversion upcoming.
Look for some sort of out route here.
Clute rolls to his right, throws front corner of the end zone, complete.
Schoening there.
Now Schoening
runs an escape route, gets his defender off balance, drops back to the back of the end zone, standing there for an easy 2 points.
So with 7:41 to go, it is 50-28. It was, what, 36-22 at halftime.
It was 22-12 at one point.
22-12 at one point.
So Glens Ferry was winning.
So they've only put on 6 points. And, yeah, Kamiah putting on kind of an offensive clinic after that.
And that's always been the question mark with Kamiah. As you get into these playoff games, the weather gets worse. The offense has had a tendency in the last couple years to slow down. There's been games where they've played Grace and not put up any points. They've played Butte County and struggled to score. Today they get a game against a South team, a Southern team, and are able to put up 50, make a statement to the rest of the league, even though they're going to go play a team in the White Pine.
Yeah, and it'll more than likely be not officially, but probably the 7 o'clock game at Kibby Dome. And Grace will take Kendrick. Let me think it was. So Kamiah will play Kendrick. So they will play Kendrick at 7, and Grace, whoever they're playing, will be at 4.
Logos.
I
tell you what, that's a good opportunity for Kamiah. I don't know the last time Kamiah has been in the Dome. It's probably been, oh man, I think 7, maybe more, 8, 9 years.
I think Mr. Idaho 8-man, Will Hennicky, is listening in. Will, when was the last time Kamiah was in Kibby Dome?
I believe it's been 9 years. I think they played Prairie back in 2014 or 15.
I believe you.
I feel pretty good about that.
There's the kick, right to left, Kamiah. To Glens Ferry, scooped up at the 30. But he was on his knees, so that's where Glens Ferry will start things off. 7:39 to go in this one. 1st and 10 for the Pilots. Pilot faithful over in the stands. Traveled pretty well for this far of a game.
I would say, I mean, it's always good to see when you have a lot of fans travel with you on these long distance road trips and they're cold. You know, there's a tendency sometimes where they don't travel as well.
I think they said Glens Ferry stayed in Orofino, so just down the road a little bit. There's the snap. And still we're seeing a quarterback, Bryce Sterling, throws. It's complete to Jackson Smith. And Smith gets the first down. Needed to get to the 40, got to the 42. 7:21 now. Left in this one. Pilots down 50-28. Lining up again, Glens Ferry moving left to right. We're on the right hash. Clock running, we're at the 7-minute mark, under center. Backup quarterback Sterling hands it off. Diving forward to the 45 is number 4, Brody Merrill. The junior makes it 2nd and 6. Actually 7. The first down is at the Kamiah 49, and they are at the 45.
If you're Glens Ferry, you definitely need to start moving the tempo. I know you have a backup quarterback in. You're running out of time. You're down 20, down 22.
Another run. Got a text from Zane saying he's listening, so I guess he's not here.
Well, what the heck, Zane? Too cold for you? You got to be in the dome? Got to be in the dome to play. And he probably had actually a pretty cold game last night in Lewiston. Nice field, though. Nice facility.
Yeah. So Landon Stewart, Carson Trout are brothers, according to Leif Morrison. for Glens Ferry. Both play quarterback. Get all sorts of information. So 3rd and 5. Handoff. They give it to Merrill. And the defense comes in strong on 3rd down. Forward progress got him back to the line of scrimmage. So we got 4th and 5.
Yeah, safety David Clute finishes them off, and now you're in a position where if you're Glens Ferry, you almost have to throw the ball. Got 5 minutes left in the game. You know, season's on the line if it hasn't already. Kamiah faithful stepping in.
Clock running. Hit the 5-minute mark. 4th and 5 for Glens Ferry. Back to pass. Trying to find somebody. No one to throw to. Scrambling. Sterling in trouble. Still no one on the near side. The ball gets tipped and intercepted at the 40-yard line. Staying on his feet. The big guy finally gets dropped at around the 30-yard line. But that was Damian Ochoa. The ball was tipped. He was right place, right time, just dropped in his hands.
Does Damian have 2 picks today?
I believe that's 2 picks.
No, that's something. You go to your secondary and say, hey, I got 2 interceptions. How many you guys have?
What do you got? What do you got? So Kamiah takes it back. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left. They're at the Glens Ferry 35-yard line. No, they are not. 25-yard line. So let's see if Clute lets that clock wind down again. They did on their last drive. He's under center now. They're just going to go for it. There's a pitch to Oatman. Comes to the near side. Gets dragged out of bounds. Clock continues to run. Let's see if there was any kind of gain on that play. I don't think there was. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Your Kamiah 4:20 here left in the ball game. Last thing you want to do is try to play hero ball and get hurt. You know, you're a few minutes away from moving on to the 2nd round, to the quarters, and you don't want to see an injury this late in the game.
Well, you can play all day at the Itzy Yaya Casino in Kamiah, proud supporter of Kamiah Cubs. Make sure you check out the delicious menu at the Camus Cafe. Might have to do that.
I haven't been to the Camus Cafe before.
Don't make it that far?
I don't.
Go in the doors, hear the bells and whistles.
I get stuck at the slots.
So on 3rd down. Not much again.
Glens Ferry's defense, for the most part, is really, I mean, they gave up 50 points. It doesn't look like they played that well, but a lot of it's been big plays down the field. They've held Kamiah in the middle of the field for a good portion of this game. It's just been Kamiah's athletes have made plays at the right time. I mean, how many times have we talked about Everett Oatman and Lawson Landmark and David Clute just making big plays?
Takes a snap, 3rd and 10. Rolls to his right, throws. Wide open at the 10-yard line. Scampers in for the touchdown. That's Oatman. 25 yards out.
You know, that cannon never shocks you enough, does it?
There's a few schools that have that cannon. And, yeah, it's always a shock every time. Always.
Well, we've heard it a few times. I can't do math that many times to figure out how many touchdowns Kamiah has scored. But the end zone club for Kamiah is rocking and rolling. They're up 28. They've really put together a really good last 3 quarters.
So Oatman had a 39-yard touchdown reception in the 3rd. He's got this 25-yarder, and he opened. And the 2-point conversion, as I break off mid-sentence, no good. So 56-28. That's enough. They didn't really need the 2 points. Would have been nice.
Got to work on your conversion percentage.
Yeah, that's right.
See if you're the best 2-point conversion team in the state. Who knows?
So Oatman a couple of touchdowns here in the second half.
And they played Kendrick on the year. They lost to him by 44. So,
which, during the season, if they only lost by 44, that's better than a lot of teams did.
It is.
Wow, you guys only lost by 44? Good job.
I've seen teams lose by 100. I've seen teams lose by 80. It's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
It's a big step up for Kendrick moving up to that, now 2A. I think it was a good adjustment for them. Allows them to see a lot better competition.
Right.
And they've done well. That's why they're the second best team in the state, third best team arguably. Who knows? Kamiah is going to give them a good fight, though. There's no doubt about that.
I don't know where I'll be next week, but I probably will not be at the Kibbe Dome, unfortunately. We've got guys up here that can do that, probably Ryan Skaggs or Brandon Bainey. You're going to be on a call for the radio next week?
I am going to be on the call. I'll be covering Grangeville, wherever the heck they are playing. I know they're at home. I think they're going to be taking on Firth or Ryrie. Whoever won, I don't know.
Ryrie won.
Ryrie won, so I think it's going to be Ryrie. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Ryrie hasn't been in the playoffs. I mean, they hosted their first playoff game ever.
Wow.
Friday night.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a distinction quite yet on who they're going to be playing. I know they're hosting, which is the weirdest thing in the world. They're guaranteed the 4 seed in 3A classification. I don't know how they worked that out with the rest of the state. They did,
and the kick is dropped at the 30, picked up, and here comes Sterling on the far sideline. Finally pushed out of bounds at the 40.
That's a nice play there by Henry Thomas. Muffed the ball, got it, and then quickly pitched it over to Sterling, and Sterling was able to get positive yards out of it. Heads up play. We've seen a couple pitches.
Just take the ball.
I don't want it. I don't want to get hit.
Well, there's a lot of white jerseys in for Glens Ferry now.
Yeah, it looks like officially throwing up the white flag. The nice white jerseys. Kamiah keeps their starters in. It looks like Clute calls the timeout.
Yeah, I can't see Nels Clute. Just a good guy. He's not going to keep his starters in if Glens Ferry doesn't. And so they're looking around saying, you, okay, your uniform, no, it's too dirty. You stay out. If we can still see your number, you're in.
No, David Clute, get out of the game. You're not allowed in.
Yeah.
Gotten enough.
Anybody you really need for next week, take a seat. And you can actually see number 6, Landmark, sitting down. You've got Schoening on the bench.
Yeah, and
Oatman sitting down.
You see Jaden Crow. He's in street clothes still. That'd be, Jaden, he's been out. He missed a lot of this year. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to be available next week. He's a really good athlete, excellent basketball player. See if he's back, because if he could play against Kendrick, that'd make it at least a little more difficult for the Tigers.
So 1st and 10 for Glens Ferry. Push up the middle. Gain of about 5. Gets 2nd and 5. Ball on the 45-yard line. So Zane's on dad duty. Sent a picture of his daughter in the high chair. That's what you got to do. You got dad duty sometimes.
It's fair enough. It's a good excuse. That's one that you can always get by with.
That's right. Especially when you send a picture as proof. It works.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if he was lying and he was somewhere else. I don't think his significant other would be too happy.
So you just keep a picture of your kid in the high chair just in case you need to send it. It's another handoff up the middle. Gain of a couple more. We'll bring up 3rd and 2. Just inside the 40-yard line. Clock continues to run. Under 2 to play. Glens Ferry moving left to right. As we see it and you hear it. Lining up. Under center, and he drops the snap. Has to fall on it. And that's Carson Trout, the freshman. Ball just slipped out of his hands. So that brings up 4th and 2. Well, that mud's got to be so cold out there.
Yeah, hard pass there, Paul. I don't want to walk out there. That's what I'm telling you. You got to play on the outside the hash marks.
Yeah, right?
Get away from the middle of the field.
I'll be a receiver on the outside if you need me. I want nothing to do with the cold mud. So 4th and 2. Trout hands it off. They're going to get the first down in the hands of Juarez. Juarez trucking down the field to about the 11-yard line. Nice run for the junior, Juan Juarez.
Yeah, get Juan there in the game. He's going to pick up some yards. The big man rumbling.
Juarez, 5'6", 175.
Rumbling down the field to the 10 or the 11.
Came in like a wrecking ball. You're not going to stop that kid. The old Miley Cyrus play. That'll be stuck in your head the rest of the day. You're welcome. So 1st and 10 from the 11. Turns, hands it off. Boy, he just lowered his head. I think it went back to Juarez. Lowered his head and said, "Stop me."
And they did a pretty good job stopping it. Only got a couple yards out of it.
Got a couple yards.
It's always a cool thing for all the JV kids to get in, whether you're on the right side or the wrong side of the score. You know, to get into a playoff game, get some reps in after your season concluded.
See, not everyone was a star athlete like you.
That's true.
I call this Paul Kingsbury time. In basketball, this is when I got in. Speaking of in, number 5 for Glenn's Ferry, Peyton Reynolds into the end zone. From 11 yards out, gets the touchdown. Another 6 on the board here at the end of the game for Glenn's Ferry.
Hey, make it look a little closer than it seems.
Yeah.
It's always a nice thing to do. But overall, you know, this game did feel a little closer than what the score even indicates. Kamiah really just put it on at the end of, you know, that second and third quarter, put the big statement to the rest of the state and moves on next week to Kendrick. That'll be good to see.
Timeout called before they attempt a 2-point conversion. CHS Primeland, a division of CHS Inc., is an ag retail and grain handling cooperative in Lewiston and the surrounding areas. CHS Primeland would like to wish the Kamiah Cubs the best of luck as they move forward in the state playoffs. If you can feed it, farm it, fence it, fuel it, or fertilize it, you can find it at CHS Primeland. And IdahoRiverland.com, home of Idaho Country Properties and Kamiah Properties. Group of local real estate realtors working for a local brokerage dedicated to supporting our local community. Make an appointment today to interview with one of their knowledgeable agents to see how they can help you list and sell your property. IdahoRiverland.com. 2-point conversion underway. Handoff, and he gets stopped. Runner William Gittison.
Yeah, met him right at the line of scrimmage.
And no good. Boy, yeah, he ran into a wall.
Looks like Wyatt Shepard there on the tackle, the freshman nose guard for Kamiah.
Well, stay tuned to Idaho Sports. Check out the brackets. We might have them up tonight, first thing in the morning. So the seeds are already. Last week we had to wait for the final Max Reps rankings to come out. Or not final, I guess. They have a cutoff. And then they actually changed a day later, but it was too late. So I got a lot of emails on that. Hey, how come it's like this? Well, they set the deadline and then it changes again. Sorry.
Things happen. It's all right. It's okay to be incorrect some days.
I wouldn't know. Wait, I guess the first half I was calling the different teams most of the time. So here we go. Glenn's Ferry set to kick off. 16 seconds left. After the game, we'll take a little break, come back with our IdahoSports.com player of the game presented by the Office of Highway Safety. And Junior Sanchez with the kick, and it will roll into the end zone for the touchback.
What a kick there by Sanchez. Almost got it to stop at the 1.
It barely rolled into the end zone, yeah.
That would have been a really good spot.
And you've got Everett Oatman back out there.
Looks like I'm sure they're going to go into victory formation here. 15 seconds on the clock. Wrap it up. That's always a nice thing to do if you're a senior. David Clute getting the last knee in the right way.
On the home field?
Yup, exactly.
I like it. Coming in, big number 78 for Kamiah as well. Kendall Oatman, the senior. Again, 16 seconds left in this one. Kamiah on their own 20, right side of the field. take a knee to end this. There it is. This one's done. So Kamiah will be playing Kendrick in the Kibbe Dome. I'm guessing 7 o'clock, but stay tuned. So we're going to take a quick break, be back, and award the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game right after this.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, welcome back again. Your final score, 56-34. Kamiah wins. They move on to play next week in the Kibbe Dome against Kendrick. Glens Ferry moves on to winter sports, wrestling and basketball. One last thing to do, and that's award the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game. We talked about it. We had the I-Team back at Idaho Sports HQ feeding the stats. And you know what? We're going to buck the system. We're going to make the executive call here on location and give it to number 64, the big guy, Damian Ochoa. 2 interceptions on the day. Big guys never get the credit. And we're going to give him the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, presented by the Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. So, Will, the I-Team back there, sorry he did all that math for nothing, but he was, Oatman was obviously the stats choice, 234 yards total, receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown, as well as a 2-point conversion. And then he said, yeah, that's valid. And, of course, Ochoa had a lot of tackles as well. We called his name on the defensive side. When he wasn't, making interceptions, he was making some tackles as well.
I mean, 2 picks in a game, regardless if you're in the secondary or not, if you're a nose guard and you have 2 of those things,
right?
I mean, that's a highlight you're going to remember for the rest of your life. And you got to recognize that.
Got to recognize that. Give some love to the big guys. Love it. Well, it's been fun. Thanks for joining me here today. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it got a little cold on us, but, we got to see a good football game where Glens Ferry came out strong. Kamiah responded and really put a statement on, played really well on both sides of the ball. And, yeah, it was a good game to be a part of.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Kamiah. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2024 Idaho High School football postseason. Coverage on Idaho Sports brought to you by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho. Ideal, Idaho's college savings program, Valleywide Co-op, your local Toyota dealers, Dip Fusion helmet reconditioning, and of course the Idaho Office of Highway Safety sponsoring our player of the game. This game was also made possible by our great local advertisers, CHS Primeland, IdahoRiverland.com, Itziyaya Casino here in Kamiah, of course our power boosters, Central Idaho Construction, and Clonagers Marketplace. For Glens Ferry, Hanson's Cafe and Motel, and Farm Bureau Insurance. Can't say thank you enough to those guys. Special thank you to Todd Nygaard for helping us get set up here, getting the nice canopy to keep us dry. That's always nice, getting this game broadcast to you, the listener. Thanks again for joining us as the Kamiah Cubs defeat the Glens Ferry Pilots 56-34. For my broadcast partner, Hayden Uhlencott, and everybody else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm merely Paul Kingsbury. Have a good night, everybody.
Let's talk about open enrollment for health insurance.
Hello?
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the